right, guys, we got another banger this weekend, and everything is coming full circle. Me and Walt present this week. We have Papa, man, the brains behind SafeMoon. He put that out there as one of the trailblazing projects of 2021. Introducing reflections and burning and everything all put together. We got Your Pop representing for Refund. We're super stoked about that, as well as Stecky. And we also have Benny from Track, who's right now developing ordinals and DeFi, basically BRC20 on Bitcoin. So we're super excited. And Walt, anything you got to say, brother?
You already know, man. I'm just really humbled by this whole situation, how we have the greatest people literally in DeFi right now on the show today, that really are taking, DeFi to the next level. And, Papa already knows, when he came in our episode 3, we spoke about what we wanted more to happen in DeFi, hashtag for the culture. People were making literally a mockery of what was going on, and we were fighting for that. And then boom, a couple episodes later, we starting to see how the meme world and just more than ever just went out of control, parabolic. And now we're here right now at this moment, coming full circle with Papa back here. Literally, to me, is the biggest show of all time for us. Having Your Pop here, having Stecky here. Just this literally is the gathering of the GOATs, everybody all together. Huge people out there right now, listening in right now. And sheesh, I just came from the Bitcoin convention, so you can imagine how pumped and psyched I am. I'm just ready to unleash the fury right now. And, we did an amazing, skit. I really wanted to, take it to the next level with this skit, because this whole narrative is just literally from, the DeFi gods themselves. So, I hope everyone loves it. Put about a couple hours into it. This is one of the most fantastic days of my life. I feel super blessed, guys. All of us, every day we wake up, we're blessed. So, man, let's go, kid. Let's get the show started. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
You already know it, man.
Let's go.
What's going on? So you already know Taker. Let's so I did a skit for you guys. Refund. I hope you love it, man. I really put some thought into it. Taker, let's start it, baby.
In Satoshi's secret temple. Father, what should I do now? You will give the people a refund. Get the talent on the phone.
I'm on it.
Hi, Satoshi.
Make me the greatest contract.
I got the perfect one. OG version 4, maximum liquidity.
The Omega.
I'm coming with that summer sausage energy, homies. Strasu.
The source of all life and abundance. We come to you in our need. We pray for your help and guidance. We offer our thanks for your blessings. Accept our hymn of praise and grant us your favor.
The biblical Omega narrative that came from the DeFi heavens. Comes a contract so perfect, it is hailed as the chosen one. The gods of blockchain have spoken, and they want the whole world to receive a refund.
Let's go, baby. Woo! I'm feeling that one. That was literally my, one of my top ones I've ever done. Hope you guys are proud of it. This is the narrative is literally coming from the heavens itself, guys. So I had to give you guys something special. So let's get the show going, guys. Guys, you already know the moment you all been waiting for. Thank you for coming to the world famous Kid and Walt Show. Woo! Let's get it, kid.
Yo, we got a banger, man. We're going to be sharing the stage today. You guys all know Papa, the orange hat wizard himself. If you guys haven't been checking it out, he just started doing the. Oh, go ahead, Papa. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just saying hi.
What's up, Papa?
No, it's great to have you, man. I know you started your YouTube channel recently. I watched the episode; it was really cool. Seeing some of the internal dialogue, through some of the most influential people in the space, man. So I really like what you're doing over there, and thank you for joining us, co-hosting Refund and Track today, man. How you been doing, brother?
Pretty good. I've got to say, it's kind of weird doing YouTube. I'm a little bit more nervous doing a recording than I am something live. So I'm getting a little bit better every time, and I've got these geniuses just telling me like their feedback towards the end of the show, so it gets better every time. Check it out. It's we just did a new episode a couple days ago on Friday, so with Sheldon. So yeah, I don't know, just cranking on work all the time. I've been working nonstop since we spoke last, and it's just been a nonstop like bug hunting kind of conquest, and then the show, of course, getting ready for some serious launches, and here we are. I wrote a bot, actually. Interesting, you got Refund on, so I've got some questions there. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah, welcome. We're really pleased to have you on. Thank you for making the time. It's going to be a really special episode as we talk about Refund, which honestly I think is the most interesting project I've ever seen launched. And I'm not churching it up, guys. I truly believe that it's a pretty compelling story. And welcome your pop, man. I mean, dude, I was watching you a couple of years ago. Your Shiba videos that you've done on YouTube have been absolutely amazing. You've covered, some of the most intriguing stuff in crypto, and man, we're really stoked to have you on the show today, man.
Hey, kid. I do appreciate the invite, man. It's going to be a fun space. Hopefully, we'll discuss Refund token, and it looks like you have a few other things and different agendas on the space today. So I'm here to hopefully listen in and hear about some things, and hopefully contribute also to from the Refund community's perspective of what's been going on, and hopefully just shedding light on some of the things that are unfolding right now with this very intriguing and interesting project. So thank you again.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. And Stecky, if you want to come up as well. Yeah, no, pretty much the format of the show. We got Papa in here, and honestly, we just want to hear from the viewpoint of Refund. The story and everything, and basically, the show we report on what's going on in the industry, and we like to do it through the eyes of the communities and the people coming forth. So. But yeah, man, definitely, whatever you want to say about Refund, we'd love to hear it, man.
For sure. I guess I'll kind of be somewhat of a spokesperson then in that sense. But yeah, for those of you who aren't aware or aren't familiar with this Refund coin or Refund concept, so it launched on May 19th around 5 p.m. Central Time, so last Friday. So it's been about a week and a couple days. Today's the 9th day of trading. And it launched as a stealth. right? No pre-sales, no prior hype, and really no information. All we know is a deployer who created the contract is this individual that goes by the name, his ENS is blur.eth, and that's the only communication or information we have regarding who this developer might be. But in addition, some of the things that we've been able to kind of highlight over time through the community doing research and looking into the project, blur.eth is what we call an OG, right? One of the OG of OGs on Ethereum because he's part of the Genesis block. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Genesis block, it's block 0, right? So it dates back to way back when, probably around the time when Ethereum was launched back in 2015. So this is an individual who's been in this space for a long time. He's both ETH whale and NFT whale. Part of his story is the fact that he did this wash sale, or what looked like a wash sale, back in the amidst probably one of the most significant months in DeFi history, and that was 2021 October. And he got some media attention. So he did a wash sale on CryptoPunk 9998, which is arguably probably the biggest NFT project out there. And this is when NFTs were really booming, right? All of 2021, we saw the Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of take the entire NFT world by storm, and some of the CryptoPunks started resurfacing, but specifically CryptoPunk 9998, which is the logo of Refund token. Blur.eth, that same wallet, did a wash sale on it for 126,000 Ethereum tokens. So at the time, ETH was around $4,500. So if you calculate that, 126,000 ETH multiplied by the value of Ethereum is right around $530 million that was used to create that wash sale. So it was interesting because this is the first time this individual who's been around for a really long time decided to launch a project. And based off of his 20 plus thousand ETH transactions, we see that he's somebody who has been in the space. He's been trading. He's been looking into different crypto assets in DeFi that he's been just buying. So he's a degen at heart. And all we really can speculate is he has probably some type of affiliation with some of the ETH founders, ETH big dogs, but we aren't really sure what that connection is. All we've received as a community from blur.eth is encrypted messages via the blockchain. He's sending out things that are Latin, Greek, and he's speaking these some Russian as well, things that we're trying to decipher. And we have a dedicated Telegram that has a research group. So the Refund research group has about 500 and some members, and it's people who are just speculating, individuals who are philosophers, right? We have a person who literally studied college, finished a PhD in philosophy, and he's been very interested because a lot of the things that he's transcribing or putting into the blockchain have been very philosophical, right? And very poetic. So all we know is this is an individual that's very deep. He's not very surface level, but also it's interesting that he came up with this concept of refund. So RFD, when it launched, as I mentioned, it was a stealth. And the first thing that I saw on the day of launch itself was like really big ETH buys. Now, if you track the wallets, and I have people in the space that I'm familiar with that are extremely good at wallet tracking, they saw a lot of these fresh wallets, brand new wallets that transferred money from centralized exchanges, 6 to 7 figure, amounts in ETH that were swapping for refund. So there's different speculation. Could this be Blur's second attempt at potentially washing some of his ETH through the blockchain through a token? Well, that narrative didn't really sit well because the timing of Refund, I think, is quite special. Since the last month in DeFi, we know one of the biggest projects of the last probably 16 months launch, which was Pepe, the biggest meme of all memes, launched, again, also as a stealth, and did really well. It got on the big centralized exchanges, launched at nothing, went up to a 1.8 billion dollar market cap at its all-time highs, has since come down. But what that did was it revived this silent market, at least over the last 1+ years. So a lot of people got into DeFi and they're like, whoa, Pepe just did something. Well, you know what devs are going to do, right? They're going to create all the derivatives and the other frog coins and all the other meme coins. And it kind of revived that meme coin, shitcoin type of excitement that we once saw, you know, almost 2 years ago now. But the most interesting aspect is, right, RFD or refund. So people have been wondering why call it refund? Is it because what happened with the Ben.eth situation and PSYOP? And this guy was like, Blur.eth was like, man, I'm just sick and tired of individuals taking advantage of people. And you know what? I'm just going to launch a token with my own money. I'm going to put a bunch of ETH, $1.5 million worth of ETH in the initial LP or liquidity pool and run with it and hopefully make people money. We don't know. We don't get it. But all we see is the timing is interesting, especially with what happened in 2022. Amidst a bear market, we see the downfall of a lot of centralized exchanges and really big crypto projects, right? Uncovering of malicious developers, poor practices, people who have really no experience on the blockchain creating projects that went to multi hundreds of millions, if not billions, with really no prior experience, right? We saw what happened with SBF. We know what happened with Celsius, Voyager, FTX as a centralized exchange. All of these exchanges that went down, went bankrupt. I had money personally on Celsius and also a little bit on Voyager. And right now they're still undergoing bankruptcy, and it's been months and I haven't been able to touch that money. So is the refund concept for those individuals? Is it for what's been happening in CFI or centralized finance with SVB, right? Silicon Valley Bank, everything else, Silvergate, right? All these big banks, they're not tiny, right? Sizable banks that have also fell and failed, right? So I think, again, refund goes a lot beyond. And I think right now it's just, what do you personally think of the concept of refund, right? Being dissatisfied with a product or an item and looking to get your money back. DeFi has been a terrible space. There has been horrible developers that are all trying to make ends meet, right? At the end of the day, these devs that are launching these honeypots, launching these malicious contracts, blacklisting people after buying, whatever, all the different ways that people have been taking money. The thing about it is these developers, right, they're probably not doing well financially, right? When you're scamming people, when you're scamming individuals at face value with 100% intent to take money and run, there's probably something really wrong with you, either psychologically or your environment. So again, it's a sign of desperation, and that's what has been going on in the crypto spaces. Really, people are just getting desperate. People are sending blindly Ethereum to a single individual, hoping that he's going to make their financial situation better. That's referring to the Ben.eth situation. Thousands of ETH raised over a 7-day period. Look at his updated wallet. A third pre-sale that he's launching, $18 million is currently sitting in his wallet. Like, you guys got to really sit down and dig deep to look at how desperate we've become as people in DeFi and just people everywhere. So I think the refund concept, and why I decided to kind of like drop everything and stick with this specific token, because you guys know I've talked about different projects, and I'm transparent. Some projects I've discussed have been sponsored segments, right? I've taken sponsorships in the past, and some, like for example, Shiba Inu, just got in super early and was super excited about it. Not for refund, not a paid shill, not just another token that I'm just talking about because some devs reached out to me and they said, hey, this is the next best thing since sliced bread. This has been something that truly has some amazing, amazing people behind it. Blur.eth has a reputation. He's been showing us, right? Maybe not just through his wallet, but other wallets alike. We're seeing ETH 90, 100, 100, multiple hundreds of ETH being added to the LP, added to the liquidity pool, giving people some type of assurance saying, hey, I'm going to ensure that this is a liquid asset. And we talk about illiquid versus liquid assets. And most of these meme coins are illiquid, meaning you can't really sell off your position without burning the remainder of the holder base, right? So I know that was kind of long-winded, but I just wanted to make sure before we started today to kind of give like the preface on what is refund, why am I so bullish on this project long-term? because most of the things in DeFi now, they last half an hour, an hour. They're here for a short time, not a long time, as Rodney likes to say. But that's kind of my 2 cents, and hopefully you can answer questions. And I might not be able to answer them all because remember, I'm just an integral community member. I don't know what Blur is doing in the background. All I know is what everybody else sees on the blockchain. Appreciate you guys.
Let's go. Your pop, you got me going crazy right now, bro. I'm about to look, guys. Stecky, look, I learned how to raise my hand. I found out, so I was like, I need to raise my hand on the own show. Stecky, please forgive me. The other day when I'm like, kid's like, Walter, the emoji's right there. I'm like, where? I'm trying to click on the people. And he's like, I'm like, I raised my hand, but your pop, I had to raise my hand right now. Honestly, bro, I am forever humbled that you have come to the show. The whole narrative of Refund is just something out of ordinary. It's just from the DeFi heavens, as I like to put it right now. The fact that you just said it, how you're coming in, the whole community is coming by. This is what when Papa came for the 3rd episode, everything you're talking about right now is what we were speaking of. That people were just making a mockery. They don't know how to, people are at a pure desperation mode, and we found the exhaustment mode. And ever since like February, March, all of a sudden people were trying to take it better, and there was, better contracts. There was, all these run-ups with, with Pepe, we saw out of control, but then we saw some problem with the LP, and nothing against, we were just watching how like things happen, and like how $1 billion project, there's still kind of these little nicks and fixes that you still have to. And literally this project is, I don't want to call it the perfect one, but I'll call it the chosen one. That wording where it's got everybody behind it. Everyone's coming for a better cause. They want this to work. And we're seeing, at this point, non-financial advice, if you have a financial advisor, that you can literally just find a good entry, and this contract is going to get to the next levels. I see this 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, NFA, but the way everything has been structured and the way you're speaking about it and making things, all come together, all of us, this literally is something bigger than us. And all of us as a crypto community, what the origins of Bitcoin, right? The origins of a community sticking together and wanting better. And they're literally, now that we're at the exhaustment moment where, like you said, people are desperate. They don't even know what they're doing. They want to make money. It's like, wait, whoa. There was something bigger to this, guys. We were trying to be better than what was going on out there. And that's why Bitcoin was emerged, and we saw the greatness of that. And now we are here now in 2023, literally probably one of the greatest, I guess you want to call it meme seasons of all time. Here comes a contract called Refund, and it just has the narrative literally from the heavens, man. But I just had to go on a little tangent and, just say what's going on. But, man, I want to hear what Stecky's got to say. Let's go.
Oh, wait, sorry. Can you call upon me?
Yes, man, you're here. Wait, you can raise your hand. Wait, raise your hand. That's a good one. Stec, you know how it is in our show, bro. I had to, but man, bro, thank you for coming on, man. Welcome to the world famous Kid and Walt show, man. Tell us how you feel about Refund, baby.
Oh man, geez, guys, I can't follow up on your pop because he's just so well spoken. Yeah, he pretty much nailed everything that I would have nailed. So I don't have too much to add to that, other than the fact that it's been a wild ride. I mean, I saw this thing, at a $4 billion market cap, 3.9 or something at first. Saw the volume as well, and I said, this is different. There's no way, a project, at that market cap should be getting, 30, $40 billion, 30, 40 ETH buys, $9 million dollars in volume in the first 9 hours of launch is just something that was unprecedented, that I've never seen. I mean, it definitely caught a lot of people's attention early on, but yeah, I mean, I think the craziest thing so far that I've seen is the strength in the community. I think that word is starting to get super annoying for people to use. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to get used to it because I posted last night, I said community is the true utility, especially during this season. And, I'm going to continue to stand by that. This is pretty much what gets me up in the morning. I slept at like 5 a.m. last night, so I'm just running on E, trying to kind of start the day. But it's also you guys, right? Like you guys have heard about RFD. You guys are, I'm sure you guys are RFD members as well, and you guys are hosting spaces. Getting the word out there, and I talk about skill sets and people, what they're good at, and you guys are showcasing that, and it's really kind of helping your pop and I. It's like getting like the burden, not the burden, but a little bit of that edge off our shoulders, and the heavy lifting a little bit better. Man, dude, I can't even speak. I'm so sorry. It's been a crazy week, but again, I'm stoked about blur.eth. I always say let him cook. One of the biggest OG 9 fig dev uh whales in the entire space. And again, the community. That's it. Your pop said everything else. I want to say the community's been absolutely on fire. I'm going to continue to try to champion the RFD narrative, again, the refund narrative. But I will add that our initial narrative was hey, all these rug pulls and these scams, everyone taking the L's during the season, and just overall the entire time that most people have been rug pulled in the space, and taking L's. Like maybe this is that opportunity, but I do think Insanity. I think we had a space, and this person named Insanity, spun a different narrative, and that narrative is, this whole time society's given us, this whole structure of how things should be played out. You go to school, or you don't go to school, and then you go into debt, right? And so a lot of times, after school, after you get into debt, you're trying to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. You still have to grind and grind and continue to grind to pay off that debt, or it could be any kind of debt, right, in life. And so you lose precious time. And so I think being able to participate in DeFi, or in the NFT Web3 space, I think because blur.eth is one of the OGs and the grandfathers of the space, he's really trying to give back to those fellow community members within DeFi. If you're participating and you're participating in Refund, to be able to give back and hopefully enable others to make money so that they can pay off their debts quicker, to then actually start enjoying life and the more important things, whether that's pay for a vacation for your family, or help family members with medical bills, or pay your mortgage, or pay those those debts from school, so that again you can save time, and not have to slave away with the normal societal structure that we've kind of been shackled to. But anyways, that's kind of another narrative that I do kind of believe in. And sorry if I'm not super lively or whatever, but I'm here for you guys, and I'm here for the community, and that's what matters. So appreciate you guys.
No, man, Shib, that was awesome, brother. No, man, we love the whole narrative of what you're speaking of. There needs to be no hype, no bullshit. I love it, bro. I couldn't sleep all last night. I'm not gonna lie, I was tossing and turning. I was like, I gotta wake up. I can't mess up. I literally was so excited to have you guys on the show, and the fact that Refund is so much bigger than life itself right now. The way you guys are moving on, making this happen. Don't worry, we got you guys. Your pops, Techie, like how you said, we're gonna make sure people know about this project. This is literally the project, me and Kid have been waiting for. Kid calls me like, Walter is like, that red phone that he knows not to call me on, and I'm like, oh no, it's the phone. He's like, Walter. I'm like, what? He's like, bro, look at this. This is literally the perfect freaking everything, the way it's coming out structured. He's like, it's fucking Batman. I'm like, Batman? He's like, no, Batman is doing this. I don't know how this is happening. look at I'm like, Blur, you mean? He's like, yeah, Blur, Batman. This is someone out of the ordinary making something happen and wants the world to really like make a change, seeing what's going on. So the fact that you know what you just said, that this is perfect, like let's get to the grand schemes of things. Forget material things. In a sense, you want time for your family, you want to go on those trips, you want to, damn, you brought up those student loans. I was like, why do you got to bring up student loans? But then I was just real things that are really happening that really can escalate your life to the next level. But not only the people, not only you, but the people around you. Financial freedom is what we're all fighting for. And literally the way the LP was designed, the way the dev is speaking through the blockchain, this is literally the project everybody has literally been waiting for, man. So just thank you guys for just saying, explaining. And I mean, your pop and you and Stacky, you guys are just like the perfect duo right now. I just see you guys like in like a fucking Batman car just driving, and you guys are like, yo, we need to give the world the refund. It's like, yeah, we're on it. And then you guys are like battling, like, for please, like, you will get your refund, please, you will get your refund. And like, honestly, bro, like, this is something so beautiful that literally we're just in the beginning, guys. So, man, don't worry about it. We are going to make this happen. We're literally watching history in the making together.
No, absolutely. And I just wanted to touch base, on the fact that what's really cool about this project, and from the perspective of an investor in DeFi, the past couple years, has been a shit show. A lot of things have been pumped and dumped. Obviously, a lot of influencers and stuff steering people into projects and then dumping on their head. Me and Walt, we do this space. It's 100% free. We don't take any sort of sponsorships. We're just fucking passionate about DeFi. We never left the space, even during the worst days. We got rug pulled together. We've had devs quit on projects, and that was part of when we put this show together. We just wanted to create some value. We saw a bunch of other cool people, like guys like Your Pop and YouTubers, and Walt's like, we want to report on this. We want to give people information. We want the teams and the communities that are representing some of these anonymous type projects or whatever, to kind of come forth and explain things and help people understand. So we've pretty much done this whole thing right here from the heart. It's not so we can make money and stuff. We just want to keep people together. We've what's it been, like 6 months that we've been doing this every Sunday, Walt? Just
Yeah,
about.
man. Yeah, brother. This is, at this point, I'm in like tunnel vision. When you're just driving fast and you just see, and it's been the craziest adventure of all time. And literally, I feel like we just hit a break, and we finally saw a stop sign, far as hell, and we just saw like, whoa, what is this? And we have stopped. And right now, time for me is stopping right now, because this project is on a whole nother level. This is the omega of all projects that I've ever seen. And I'm not gonna. I'm beyond. The word bullish is not even the word. It's literally a calling at this moment to tell everybody about this narrative. To your pop, Stecky, like we're going to push this for everybody to know. And I think this is the beginnings of just something bigger than anyone ever expected.
Yeah, and to add on to that, basically the way I was looking at it is, look, a billionaire basically launched this project, right? So I conclude pretty much from that this is a project of passion. You look at the wallet history, and that's what really attracted me to the project at first. I'd seen a post early on. I was following your pop. I think I saw it like 6 mil or whatever, and I went in and looked and was doing my DD. I saw the deployer wallet, and I saw that there was origins to the beginnings of Ethereum. I mean, it was a 2,000-day old wallet, if not more, if I'm not mistaken. It was involved with the beginnings of Yearn Finance. Had CryptoKitties that had been trading, Miladies, obviously the punks and stuff that had been trading. So the history of this wallet honestly just shows a person that, honestly, I feel is really connected. And that's why we kind of made the skit, joking that it was Vitalik, because if you look at the pedigree of what's going on in this wallet, it really stands alone and speaks for itself. And, to kind of touch base on what, your pop was saying, we were just kind of tired of the shit show. There was a lot of projects that has very thin liquidity and huge market caps, where it ends up being a dynamic where it's king of the hill and only a few people are able to take profits, and it ends up being on the heads, of the rest of the people. Whereas this one was started with a very robust liquidity that helps spread out that value to where it has a more balanced growth and it's honestly been acting like a more mature asset. I mean, like right now it's at like a 1 to 6 LP to market cap ratio, which is fucking fantastic. And it also keeps Jared from Subway, our favorite Mev bot. I believe him launching it on V3 Uniswap, I believe ended up, pretty much cutting out Jared's Mevbot, because I'm going to assume that it's probably the router from V2 Uniswap that it uses. So there was so many different things culminating, and we reached out to Europop and Stecky at the beginning, because there's not really anybody to represent this project, but we felt like it needed to be covered. And these guys have been working their ass off, doing 2-3 spaces a day. Also Jack Liu's been doing one for the Chinese community that's been fantastic. But these guys see the potential, the same potential that a lot of us see. And what has happened is a lot of great people have showed up, not because they were, are getting paid or this or that, but they believe in decentralization, they believe in DeFi, and we're all coming together to push the mother of all DeFi projects released this year. I believe that this is the one because of the community and those energies that they're putting into this, whether it be the Year Pops, the Steckies, and the Crypto Guru. I mean, this community is absolutely fantastic. And I just kind of wanted to say my piece on it, because I fell in love with the project. I fell in love with the people that have been coming up. There's a few that frequent, Your Pop and Stecky show that are absolutely awesome. It's been one of my favorite listens. If you guys get a chance, definitely tune in and hang out with those guys. They put on a great show, and a lot of really awesome people show up. But Crypto Guru, man, I see you popped up, brother. I just wanted to say hi, man. How you doing today, man?
Oh, Crypto Guru in the building. Let's go, baby.
Hey, what's up? What's up, kid? What's up, Walter? Thanks for putting this together for the RFD community. I just wanted to share something. I was on in the Telegram chat yesterday, and we just got to talking, and there were quite a few familiar faces in there. From the, I don't know if anyone remembers Emacs, but from those days, and we just, in my mind, with Emacs, Floyd Mayweather, Kim Kardashian got involved. RFD, I don't think we want that. We don't need that. We want like-minded individuals that are in the DeFi space, that have been in the DeFi space. Even newcomers. I mean, that's cool too. If you don't know something, ask a question, ask questions in the chat, DM one of us. I'd be more than happy to help. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing great today. It's Sunday. It's kind of relaxing. I have peace of mind, and anyone who hasn't looked into Refund token, I implore you to check out the socials, look at the website, look at the hard work that the community's been putting in, the research that's went into the contract, different transactions, the LP, and yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on it. I normally don't change my profile pic, but I did it. I did it because your Pop and Stecky did it. So So and Pop, when I was on the space yesterday, I heard you went for a run, and I had just got back from the gym lifting weights. So man, I'm so sore today. Oh God, I'm so sore today. But yeah, no, I'm thanks for bringing me up, Kid, and Walter, your Pop and Stecky, love all you guys. Community, you rock. Keep up the hard work. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. And let me say something. I'm not gonna lie. Your Pop, you're a good looking man, but you look better with white hair. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. And then Stecky, you got the white hair too. Crypto G got the white hair. Like, are we stressed out, or are we just so like enlightened and electrified that our hair just went white? Oh, like Home Alone Part Two. When he starts getting electrified. Oh, like because we got hit by the light. It's like, God, I need a refund, please. And then all of a sudden our hair just turns white. But yeah, man, I really think, the whole fact that everyone's changing their hair. Even Kid, I just saw Kid on his Telegram. He changed his hair too, bro. But I'm like, Kid, sometimes that looks normal because when Kid calls me in the morning, he shows me his hair. I'm like, Kid, what the hell? I'm like, that's some serious bedhead, brother. So I'm like, oh, that looks like a refund now, like a type of PFP. Every time I get a live refund PFP, if I call him in the morning, I'm like, whoa, what you put on your refund wig? But guys, when I tell you this is literally the beginning, I don't know how to describe it myself, how amazing this project really is. And what we're getting at now is I feel like we're at that moment, that pure exhaust moment right now where everyone is like, is there ever going to be a project that literally has all the T's crossed? And literally, just the fact that the origins of where it's coming from, the wallet address and more. There's, at this moment, we're not going to see anything like this. And, this is something that just comes out of nowhere like an asteroid. And you're like, where the fuck did this just come from? And right now, at this moment, this is so early. And all of us standing together as a DeFi crypto community will explain to everyone little by little, like what this narrative is, one at a time. This is what's going on. Find an entry and let's take this mother to all the way to 4, 3, 5, 7, 10 billion, whatever we want, because just the way the contract structured, the LP, this is the contract everybody's been waiting for. And Papa, let's go. I see your hand on. Let's get it.
Hey, I had some interesting observations along the way. Something I'd like to point out is I'm definitely not paid to be up here. I think it's neat to just hang out with other creators in the space and people who are so enthusiastic we're all still here. And another strange observation is that it's not unheard of to have something seriously pop off in DeFi with an anonymous founder. And it's kind of like where DeFi, in a way, like you bring it all the way back to Satoshi himself. Still, people haven't verified who he is, and sort of thing. Look at the launch type, fair launch, no real marketing in the beginning. You allow your community to kind of float on their enthusiasm. It's great. And you see that succeed over and over and over again. And I don't have any refund. I'm kind of curious about it because I wrote a bot a while ago that I scan for all of the new contract deployments. And I noticed a few days ago that refund as a like in the name was constant. And something about the OG communities is it's especially like super OG guys. We always hang out in smaller groups of other people from those times. And what's interesting about that is you get a lot of other like automated buyers and things like that pop up. I think if you want to know more about the history of it, take a look at how it was deployed, what steps were taken. There are little artifacts in the deployment itself. The code, of course, and it sounds like you guys have done a ton of research. But the only reason I know about Refund is the token was so popular post deployment, before marketing, community marketing, that is. It was extreme. I didn't know where it was coming from. I made a note in my bot Discord that someone's got to figure out what's going on here. But we've also noticed that ancient accounts are starting to resurface to start to create projects out of frustration with what's going on in the community. And like you said, exhaustion, it's still a problem. People's hierarchy of needs are not being met, and everyone's stuck on that survival mode. And honestly, it takes a few people from the old days, you know, the people who survived everything, who are here longer than all of us. They know what they're doing, clearly. Like, that's just at least, you know, and not every OG is going to be, you know, perfect at deployment, and not every one of them is going to be, you know everything about the space. And I think that's a difference between engineers, is not everyone's an expert in everything. And sometimes it takes, and when you think about it too, it's like front-end engineers can't do back-end to save their lives, and back-end engineers can't do front-end to save their lives. In the same way, OG deployers or OG protocol devs probably don't know how to really like run the whole front of the rest of it. But the trade-off is a much stronger community. And the filter down, you get much more intelligent people, the people who can find it, the people who know where to look in the chain data, people who are competent enough to find these things. And you look at regulations today, it's all about protecting the consumer. You're not doing that because you're preventing the education. You know, if more people knew that they could find out how to verify all this information themselves, like y'all are doing, the world would be a much better place, and DeFi would be so much further off. It's indicative of problems with the banking system, in that every dollar that's spent, or every dollar that's earned is owed. And you know, in DeFi, what we're doing is we're creating our own opportunities. And if people were more comfortable with having the sovereignty of their own funds, then we would see much less of the embarrassing shit that goes down in the space, and people will lose keys. I think all of us have done it. Even Luke Castro Jr., he lost his keys with an elaborate setup anyway. So it can happen to the best of us. But I think I'm ranting, and I'm interested to find out more myself. But again, preface, I'm not paid, and I'm not a holder yet. We'll see. It looks cool.
No, I appreciate that take, man. That definitely means a lot coming from you, from a perspective. I'd love for you to do a deep dive on it, man. Like even when I started to scratch the surface, I saw it was like a version 4, compiler on the contract and all these other. I was like, man, this is awesome, man. Like this person definitely has is definitely an OG, man. And just going through the blockchain was. It's fun, and honestly we didn't really touch base on it, but there's been like really cool quotes that the dev has been feeding through, and we decipher it from the hex and convert it or whatever so we can interpret it. But the messages that the dev has been sending has been, I know one of the first ones was like a Bible quote, Galatians or whatever, and it's basically saying, to be better to each other, to do right. And, there was, it's not about the money, not about the flesh is basically what I think that one quote was really talking about. But like, the friendships along the way, the intangibles, if you will. And, if you go through, I think there's been like 10 or 11 different messages put through from Oscar Wilde to, I can't remember exactly, but, stuff throughout history, and every time if you, read into it, it's kind of reflecting what's been going on as far as, the garbage that's been out there in DeFi, and, a lot of people losing money, and a lot of, rug pulls and bullshit like that. And, I honestly believe that this dev has put this out there just to kind of correct everything. And, with that person contributing so much LP, it's created such a balance. We're only at like 70 million market cap right now, but we have almost like 15 million in liquidity, which is already usurping, Pepe's liquidity for, a project that has 10x the market cap, but really, doesn't have, the liquidity backing it. And I believe it was an effort to kind of suck the money out of all the bullshit that's been going around. And that's what I hope happens, because this is a pure project. Nobody's getting paid for anything. It's all like genuine love and support. And honestly, that's what I feel like DeFi is about, man. So, but yeah, that's just what do you think, Walt?
You already know, man. I don't know how to like truly explain this to each individual. Like I'm like, this is the chosen one. This is the one that everybody has been waiting for. Of course, I have to say NFA, non-financial advice to people, but I'm like, look how perfect this was. And the fact, okay, I come out of the Bitcoin convention, I'm already on cloud nine, meeting like the biggest people in the industry, making connections out of control. And I'm like, man, like I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what are we, what's gonna happen for this Sunday? We got to book, some people. What really out there was there? And kid calls me like, literally, guys, like, here you go. Like, like for all the hard work you have been working on, here's this contract out of nowhere. And kid calls me on the I think Sunday night, ready when I'm hyped up, and he's like, Walter, this is the address, this is the contract, and the fact that like Papa was speaking, that the man was speaking, or woman, we don't know, was speaking through the blockchain, like OG, like how it was supposed to be intended, and the fact that it was getting more buzz because of the deployer and who was behind it. That's what like was the origins of blockchain and more, and there was this type of just movement that was behind DeFi. And, right now we're going through it right now with, American, even the United States and around the world. We're seeing, the facts of like BRICS, gold, and those countries coming together to create a new fiat and something that is more empowering maybe for either the people or for the economy. This is why this contract is perfect, because it's in the middle of everything that we speak for. Like they want to put it in the meme, I guess, category, but where it's like, all right, where's that project? Where's that, just badass rock star out of the heavens type of like project that people have been waiting for? And it's called Refund. And look at just everything is just T's are just crossed, like boom, liquidity, boom, the person behind it. Look at it's a billionaire. Boom, look how they're injecting more LP. Boom, they're writing, these cryptic messages to really get, the world and DeFi together to see something bigger, and that we only have maybe a certain amount of time that we can change people's lives in DeFi by creating financial freedom and sticking all together. And then all of us in this space are pioneers and innovators. So if you get this amount of, I guess, freedom or time on your hands, because now you have a certain amount of more fiat on you, now you can spread the word of DeFi and more. And I feel like this is like the chosen one that everyone's going to be going back to, and blueprints like, hey, this is how it kind of needs to be done, because we're at the moment of exhaustion where everyone's trying to do projects. And there has been the last couple of months, we've been seeing out of control, market caps and more, but there's always something was kind of missing. And we saw that with the LPs and how there's these crazy just swings because someone sells their whole bag and boom, 30% of the market cap goes down. But now with this one, this is literally the Omega everybody's been waiting for years. And this doesn't feel like 2021 all over again. This feels like this was supposed to happen right now with everything that we've been through. Here you go. And bam, there's a contract and something where we can actually take to 5, 7, $10 billion and more, and actually make the little guy some money and change someone's whole life through DeFi and more. And that's the whole likes of Bitcoin. And, and I feel like there's something just so special about this project, just the way, it came together all from the beginning and shot up from 10 million to 95 million so quick and vast. The volume is literally from just hysteria heavens that no one's ever seen, where the market cap is just so, like, at this moment, like, I think $1 billion is FUD. This thing can go higher and higher as we come together as a community. And the seems like the dev's gonna keep on doing the right things and injecting LP and right moments. So this is literally the mecca and the beginning of one of the greatest projects DeFi has ever seen.
Stuck in the blockchain.
What was that, Ticker?
I don't know what that was. I was like, did I just glitch it?
Execution reverted.
Oh man, but I had to go on a tangent there, bro, because this is really how I feel. It's just this immersive energy where I don't know how to describe. This is literally going to the whole world of DeFi will know about this project, and people better know. People are gonna be taken out of other maybe projects that they see is no necessary, just because of just the people around it, the narrative, how just out of control, stellar bullish this is. This is literally like get in, find an entry now, like sell everything you have, and you're like, I already can tell people are gonna be feeling that way, and that's like how they felt with Shiba, or in the beginnings where we saw just 7 8 months, then a project just go to parabolic, heights, but there was always that LP problem, but not with this one. I see. So this is probably that chosen one project, and we're just in the beginning now. So all of us just have to do what we need to do, explain the narrative, keep on doing spaces how your pop and Stecky are doing. Fucking fantastic. I love them. And at this moment, this is something bigger for all of us. We're actually making a movement and standing all together to get everybody on board, because we don't want anyone to miss this train, this boat ride, to financial freedom in a sense, because you don't know where people, where their finances, 5,000 or 10 grand, or or maybe $1,000 can change someone's life. But all they have to do is just get that perfect entry, help them out, see what we can do. And the contract itself is just looking so lovely, and the way they're injecting LP, this is going to keep on going up more and more. And the fact that likes of your pop and Stecky coming out of nowhere to really help this, nothing getting paid, just really want to make this happen, and you guys are ready for the long term. This is not no more than a no-brainer. This is literally stop the presses, fucking stop what you're doing, and fucking pay attention, because this is going to be historical.
Damn, Walter.
Walter, yeah, dude, Walter, check it out. Don't build like it's 2021 or bring back 2021. Build like it's 2023, because this is your year, man. It's all your year. It's coming back.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you. Appreciate it. I feel like a Back to the Future time where we're here, but we want it better. And this is like, I think what we saw was the beginning of 21, and now I feel like this is what we all been waiting for. What me and Kid have gone through so hard, and like it was so dry in 21, and like after the summer, and then 22, we just saw just people just at the point of just making a mockery of DeFi. And now literally here we are in 2023, and it's like it couldn't be any more sweet, waiting for this right moment. Your pop, what's going on, baby?
Hey, thanks, Walter and Kid, Papa, all the speakers, Guru, Stecky. I did have a hard stop. I told the wife I would be on for an hour, and then we're going out to lunch with the baby. So hopefully we'll see you guys later on the later spaces. But again, thank you guys for hosting and bringing us on. It was amazing just hearing perspective, especially from the developer side as well as some of the community side. But a lot of excitement, and hope to see you guys later. Thank you so much for the invite, and I hope to come back soon. I don't know how often you guys do these, but this was awesome.
No,
nice
thank
to
you.
meet you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we do these. We've been doing them about 6 months every Sunday. Typically, we bring on a bunch of projects, like 4 or 5, usually at a time, and it's just kind of like talking shop about DeFi. And This one we kind of sucked it in because I really wanted to focus, on talking about RFD and how unique this was, and to have not be rushed through, because I felt like this was something that really would take some time to kind of explain the narrative of it and what have you. But thank you so much, Your Pop. Enjoy the day, enjoy the holiday this weekend, and of course, me and Walt, we're going to be in the spaces from now on. Like, we're supporting this long term with you guys as well, because we truly believe that together as a community we can do this.
Awesome.
Oh
Thank you.
yeah, and Your Pop, man, thank you so much, honestly, for coming by. You and Stecky. Hopefully, he hangs around more. But man, literally, man, this is honestly when I tell you I was tossing and turning last night. I feeling like this was a dream, and I didn't want to wake up. And the fact that this whole project is just everything we stand for in DeFi and more, man, is out of control. And the fact that we have this show on Sundays, I just feel like this is a blessing, from the universe and more. Just the fact that we can do this, and get people like you and Stecky on board and Crypto Guru, like, to just come by and speak about this and have Papa, are you serious? Like, this is out of control. And when I tell you, I feel like I'm in a dream world right now. Like, I'm literally feel like I'm manifesting all this. And I try to tell people that this in life, that's how you have to do it. Believe in yourself. And Your Pop, just thank you for your time, brother. You're gonna see us more come around the spaces. I promise I'm gonna raise my hand more. I just learned how to do it. I promise I'm gonna do it. Stecky, don't get me. He's like, Walter, if you do not raise your hand. But yeah, man, Your Pop, you have fun with your baby. You wouldn't be called Your Pop if you didn't have a baby, because Yo Pop. But yeah, man, thank you so much. Love you, man. I hope you have the best time with your family today. You deserve it, brother. Take a nice mental rest, brother, because you deserve it. And what you're doing is bigger than life itself. So you enjoy your Sunday, man. Love you, brother. Thank you for coming by, man.
Oh, wait 1 second.
So you don't have to raise your hand here. If you're a speaker on our show, bro, you can do it all the time. I know he's gonna get me all the time. I'm like, oh wait, I can't wait for this show. I gotta add this with the whole holding a hand, because they're gonna get me good. But Seki, I'm like, I know with his comedy, he's gonna get me. So you can speak, brother. You can speak.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Just to kind of speak for Your Pop and myself, I mean, again, like I said, it's really a breath of fresh air to have other people hosting. Again, this is a space that you guys do every Sunday, but a space that has Refund in it and other projects, and that's great. I love that you guys are spreading the wealth and having other speakers on stage speaking on other things. It's super healthy, and I really love that. But again, I love and appreciate that you have, a big segment on here during your time for Refund. But I also think I think it's important that people understand that, Your Pop and myself, like we're only just regular holders, right? We're two people that do multiple spaces a day. So I think it's important that people also hear other people's voices on stage. And I'm so glad we were able to kick off your first Refund space for Sundays together as a crew. But again, I think it is really healthy to get other perspectives, not just Your Pops and mine, constantly, and to get different faces behind RFD as well. It also just realistically for us, this is kind of like. A time for us to maybe like listen in, right? Like I don't think I've actually, it's crazy because we've always just been on stage talking about RFD, that I haven't really been able to sit back and actually listen to what the community has to say about RFD, from a listener standpoint. And I think that's important for me and also Your Pop as well. So I hope if there are people in the community, such as Walter and Kid Crypto, that want to do spaces for RFD too, I would highly encourage it. You don't have to be like, again, I don't consider myself an influencer, but you don't have to be someone with influence necessarily or with like, Kid Crypto or Walter. I mean, I consider them, influencers as well, or just people with influence. I like to say people with influence, right? Because it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You could have 1, 5, 10, 100, and still be an influencer because you're influencing those people that follow you, right? So I think it's awesome that you guys are doing this every Sunday. Again, I believe in consistency. Consistency is key. But at the same time, like I would love to just also listen in and get a different vantage point so that it can help me with my spaces to try to get like, a better eye for what people love to, want to hear about, want to talk about in regards to RFD and how other people run their spaces without actually being, on stage too sometimes, because it'll only just help me kind of soak in everything like a sponge. And that's what I have been doing for years in this space. But again, I also want to say that it's not easy doing, hosting and co-hosting. So you guys are doing an absolute incredible job. But unfortunately, I also will actually have to probably just step in the listeners because I do have to do some IRL things before we do these 2 p.m. spaces and the 9 p.m. DJ hour spaces. I got to touch some grass, get a workout in, eat some breakfast, lunch, and just kind of get, all my other personal things out of the way before I do start doing spaces as well. Because again, you guys all know that is very important and key for our sanity, right? So, but again, RFD is awesome. The community's been amazing. I just want to give a special shout out to one of our listeners down there. His name is Jack Liu. He's pretty much championing, the Chinese / Asia side of the RFD movement. And I've seen him grinding and doing spaces and in the TG and really, truly just being a beacon with the Chinese community for RFD. So if we could give Jack Liu down there a huge round of applause, a huge shout out for doing that. We wouldn't be where we're at without him and our cohorts over for the Chinese community. And also, if you guys would like to talk about, how bullish it is that, China for the first time, publicly is allowed trading, here in the next week, I believe, for June 1st is when that's going to be something to really look at. The floodgates will open, and I think a lot of meme coins or coins in general, from Chinese developers will start to flood in. But I do think it's important to note that the RFD community already has an established Chinese kind of presence, and I think we do have a leg up over many of those coins that will probably start popping up. I mean, you see it now already. There's nothing against them, but Biao or He or all these other tokens that are starting to come up. I think they're just kind of preparing for that Chinese influx. But again, shout out to Mr. Jack Liu. Guys, I apologize, but I do have to step down as listener. Got to, take care of myself and make sure that, all my personal IRL things and nothing else around me is just falling to pieces because I've been so RFD constantly. But again, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all, and I'll just continue to listen in. Thank you.
Oh yeah, nah, awesome, Stecky. Really appreciate that, man. And yeah, if anybody in the audience wants to come up from the RFD community, feel free to do so right now. Just go ahead and request to jump up on stage. I'll just give a brief second for anybody that does want to come up. But yeah, hey, while we're waiting on that, I was just curious, Papa. I watched your YouTube. I haven't watched the second one yet. I actually plan on listening to that tonight while I'm at work. But I wanted to hear what's going on in your life, Papa, man.
Right.
How's everything going? How's putting together your YouTube? What are some of your future plans?
Okay. So I've been thinking about doing a YouTube for a very long time, and I had started one. I put a video up, and then I took it down. But what I always found interesting was the kind of the come up story. Everyone has a superhero story. For when did you become a developer? What was most interesting to you about it? And typically, I ask questions like, how does this affect your, like how do you balance your home life, right, with everything else? And everyone says they can't, including myself. because it's such an enthusiastic, the people that I'm bringing on are just absolutely love what they do. So what I'm trying to do is bring these stories to people so that, maybe junior devs or people who might be considering getting into crypto or kind of other topics kind of close to it, marketing, video production, and some other cool like token efforts. I want to show how difficult it is, but it's still possible, right? And where you have to go and interesting things to learn that might be emergent, people should know about. This is the kind of stuff that I would watch, and I've found myself go back and I watch my own videos quite a few times, but I don't edit them. So right now I've got 6 episodes, I think, already recorded. So every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, it premieres on my YouTube, and then we do shorts. So alongside all of that, still working in the mortgage industry. Morgan is coming along nicely. We've just done a code overhaul, so it works much better now. And so for that, we are automating the whole mortgage process from just discovery of your future home, that whole thing, but then kind of walking you through all of the anxious human steps. Like you'd have to have a meeting with someone, like a person like me. I just want to do this stuff from home. I don't want to have to go and meet somebody ever. So for people kind of similar in my situation, or even just with the AI side of this, we brought the approval rate just equitably up to amongst African American purchasers, like up to parity with everyone else, just on our side. So we're gonna see sweeping changes in the mortgage industry soon, and we've been able to survive and thrive within the onslaught of the banking contagion. So I'm very happy about that, because we're making this tool still possible, and we have this huge AI component, and we're using blockchain for document verification. So it's kind of neat how we use the technology rather than just try to sell it, which is something that Satoshi spoke about a lot. Or, well, maybe not so much, but we think of it as a lot, even if it was a few messages. But he created digital trust money. This is just one of the things that we could do. And value and meme coins, I think all of this has its own place. But really, it's about the technology and what we can do. And there's been enough talking about, we could overhaul this industry and that. And I'd say to any founder or any person that's considering getting into crypto, get into a financial institution and convince them to use it, because that's how this change is going to happen. So that's what I've been trying to lead with practice, and it's been working. I'm actually really happy with that. And then we've got some neat stuff going on the Rocket side. So people have known I've been involved with Rocket for a really long time. And we're pushing there with banking integrations and this gaming platform and flagship games. So it's kind of like some of the stuff that I'm doing on the side. I've got a bot that I've been working on that detects new contract deployments for Ethereum. So I see these within a minute, and usually before the block is even validated. So I run my own full node, and I'm watching these transactions happen. Like I could quite literally, I think if I wrote it in Go, I could sandwich attack Jared, which is kind of ironic, because then we would sandwich each other until the block filled. So
a battle on the chain, man. That would be awesome. Jared and Subway versus Papa.
I definitely don't have that kind of money. So I couldn't sustain a fight to the end of a block, but we're about to see a lot of really interesting stuff unfold. Like, and I kind of want to just be there to document it through my YouTube and bring on people, much like all of yourselves, that have your own unique hero story, and kind of bring it out there, share it, because these are things that nobody hears about. It's a kind of interesting side information. It's the backstory for the people that we follow. So through their perspectives and real world experience, you think about it, like all the shoulders of the giants that we stand on are mostly still alive today. So we can go and ask them questions or present scenarios by which everybody wins. You know, a rising tide lifts all ships. So yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell what I've been working on. And it's a lot. So like I was saying, I've been working nonstop since I left Puerto Rico. I don't expect to stop anytime soon.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. No, go ahead, Walter. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just saying, oh yeah, because I'm just like listening to Papa. Like he's just so like when like Papa speaks, it's like it's so sensual. It's like he gets you in the mood. It's like he just clearly stops time. I'm like, what's going on? He just talks and it's just sexy. He's like, hey baby, like you know. So yo, Papa, man, what you're doing, man, is amazing, bro. Like the fact that you're on our show, co-hosting with us. You know, this is like what dreams are made for when you're a kid, bro. You're like, oh, what's my purpose in life? And 36 years old right now, and I feel like everything's all coming together. And the fact that what you speak of, what what you're trying to do in DeFi is so bigger than itself. Always when I hear you speak, and especially when sometimes you give me these like amazing quotes to me, and I'm like, wow, just like the fact the way you look at life and the way you look at DeFi. It's always humbling to have you come on and then, explain, what your opinion is, and the fact that you have your show going on and everything. I mean, this is something that, everybody in the all of DeFi should be listening to, because, the origins of where you come from and, what you stand for is literally what we all, want for DeFi and more. And, it's just hearing you always come here and tell us about your take on what's going on and your opinions. I mean, they're gonna be heard, man. And I can't wait. When do you do the YouTube shows? Is it like every week, or when? How are you doing?
I usually record 2 on Fridays. Last Friday I was sick, but I do 2 every Friday, and then I release one on Fridays also.
Okay, you already know I'm gonna be bugging you, like, Papa, let me up. I want to talk. But yeah, man.
I'll connect you with my guy Jordan. He handles my the scheduling stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, just anything. Just I'll just support, man. I'll just sit back and relax. Sometimes it's nice to just sit back and put the seat, down and eat some popcorn and relax. But I definitely want, to support. Everyone needs to know about this. This is gonna be, one of the biggest shows in DeFi more, and it's just the beginning. And just like how we started, me and Kid, and you came on and supported us right away, and literally our show just took off. And I literally feel like you were the blessing of it on the 3rd episode. And just anything you're doing, man, we're gonna be there to support 1,000%. And just comes for it. We need this. You speak what needs to be done, in a sense where people sometimes don't understand really the complexity of what's going on, and you break it down just so perfect. So I'm super fucking excited for it, and we're getting a little glimpse of it. People are listening to you on your take on how you saw a refund. But I mean, it's just gonna be fun to just see, like Papa and what's he thinking, and what how, and having that intellectual conversations with with the whole DeFi space is gonna be quite interesting, man. So definitely, man, I'm super excited, bro. Congratulations on it, and I hope you enjoy your journey with it. It's all a part, part of the journey where you're taking this, and I want to be right there with you, brother.
Very much appreciated, man. Thank you.
All right. So we brought up a couple people. We have, I think Bobby was up first, and then Julio. Feel free to go ahead and jump in. I know, Bobby, you want to talk some refund. How you doing today?
Bobby.
Hey guys, how are you guys?
Fantastic. Just chilling. Got my cocktail on. Just enjoying the Memorial Weekend vibes.
You already know how I'm feeling, Bobby. Right now, I feel like
I know.
I'm about to fly. I'm about to fly off the balcony right now and fly into this beautiful sky. It's Memorial Weekend. We're all hanging out for a bigger purpose. Let's go. I got my cocktail too, Kid. you're not here, but I got a cocktail for you too next to me. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I love you guys. Seriously. Like I said before, I wouldn't be in this project if it wasn't for you guys letting me know. Everything about this is a mystery, and I love that. But there's so many clues that are pointing us in the right direction, and I'm just glad I'm getting to be a part of this, and that I own a good bag of it, because I really see this going really, really far. Like you guys said, I mean, there's just everything about it is just pointing in a good direction. The chart is so bullish. The volume is so amazing. Like everything's just happening perfectly.
Hell yeah, Bobby. Hey, we appreciate you, and you're family to me and Walt. So we love you. We appreciate your support and stuff. And yeah, we'll definitely be hanging out in conventions here soon. Um, yeah, appreciate you, Bobby.
Oh yeah, Bobby's a legend. You understand? I got to actually have the privilege to meet Bobby in the flesh, and she is a superstar. Like the way she, like just the way she comes, the energy, I felt it, and I'm like, oh, this is one of my sisters in DeFi. I feel it, and she was just so excited to be there, in Miami, meet me, made me feel so special, made me feel okay with being living in Miami, paying $7,000 a month for rent. It's all good, and taking her out like a tourist and like just showing her like around everywhere and having Bitcoin convention right there live
Amazing
and
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
amazing.
literally that was, I mean, literally we had Stevie Oki, we had Dead Mouse in the building. After it was just out of control. Big Boy was there for the ending. It was like literally one of the greatest moments of my life, and the fact that you were part of it, Bobby Lee, it was real special, and I'm taking those memories so from here into the next life. So just thank you for everything you do in DeFi. You're a fucking certified legend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank. Yeah, no, you are. What you do for everybody. So let's get this going, man. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate what you said about Refund. Is there anybody who wants to speak on Refund?
We got Julio, I believe, next, and then we'll do Crypto Junkie, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll move on to talk with Benny from Track. Go ahead, Julio, man. How you doing today,
Hey.
brother?
Sorry to interrupt. My phone's gonna die, so I don't really have a choice about this. I'm gonna give you guys big fist bumps though. I'm gonna lurk on some RFD.
Hey, awesome, man. We appreciate it, Papa. Have a great day, man. Enjoy your holiday. We'll see you later, buddy.
Big love.
Papa,
Talk to you guys soon.
don't charge your phone. Come back. Thank you,
What's
Papa,
up,
for
brother?
coming by, man.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Memorial Day weekend, and hope you guys are enjoying and paying the respect to those who sacrifice our life for us. But I just want to say I want to thank all of you. I'm pretty new to all of this DeFi. I started following Stecky, your pop. I got into RFD because I saw a video from Jake. From there, man. I've just been more and more, learning and learning from all you guys. The way you guys break down these projects is making me understand more and more. I'm into stocks. I do the stocks trading, but never really been into the crypto. And being in these spaces with you and just it's like every day listening to different people talk and their experience. I'm learning off of that. T Hobbs, posting these charts every morning. He's in these spaces too. I know he was here earlier. Like, is like his breakdown just make me understand, And yeah, before I FOMO'd into some projects, not understanding them just for the FOMO and the hype, and me not really knowing what I was doing. Kind of lost money. I think I even got rugged once. I didn't even understand what was going on, and I just left it at that. And yeah, now I'm like, on the RFD, I got into this project with Ben and all, but I wasn't understanding. But now, like how Stecky and Your Pop, break down this RFD project and what's going on behind it is, I'm learning little like by little. I'm learning what's going on. What are they looking for? And all the liquidity pools, market cap, and how money is being put into the pool. It's just great, man. All you guys are great. Thank you for what I do. I'm an active duty military member. I'm in the Navy right now, so sometimes I don't have a lot of time, you know, to be on Twitter and all that stuff. But yeah, I took 2 weeks of leave, and every day I've been on these spaces just listening to you guys and learning. I appreciate everything y'all do, and I'm happy. A couple of you guys followed me. I followed you back. I turned on that notification on if I could read and read. You got to read to learn. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Bottom of my heart, man. Thank you guys. And I'll be in these spaces just learning and from you guys, man. I appreciate it. I just got a question. Just so if anybody's here is overseas that could answer this question for me. I got orders to go to Spain, right? I'm just wondering, will my wallet work overseas, or is there anything I have to do to keep my wallet? Sometimes when you go to these countries, some of these things don't work. Any experience with that from anybody that could help me out?
From what I know, everything should be a-okay for you going to Spain. I have a few friends over there, and yeah, there's no issues, and I believe the laws are decently lax there. So, but thank you for your service, Julio, and yeah, man, to pay respect to all the people fallen. Any country, anybody that's fighting in a war, it's unfortunate, it happens. So I pay respect to anybody that's willing to die to protect, their family and their homeland and things like that. Shit happens. I'm not really about war, and I'm sure nobody really is at heart. But at the same time, things happen. People have to do what they have to do, and for people to have that type of bravery to protect their family and things like that, that's something that we definitely need to show respect for and what have you. So thank you, Julio. I appreciate it. Yeah, our messages are always open if you're new and there's any questions you ever have, man, you can hit up me or Walt. We're there, especially for the newcomer, man, because that's the most important part is all the new people coming in. We got to make sure that they're safe and that they know all the risks and they're, not putting more than they can afford to lose, things like that. We want to see people participate in a healthy way in DeFi. We don't want it to, fuck people's lives up and things like that, over leveraging, putting your rent money into, crypto, things like that. We don't encourage that. None of this in here is financial advice. We do this for entertainment, guys. We report on the blockchain. So, I mean, I'd like to say everything that, we've been excited about is, is safe, but even when things look safe, things can go sideways. So just please keep that in mind. We do our best to do due diligence, but it's almost impossible to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Refund is it's, one of those projects that you don't have to worry about it getting rug pulled. But yeah, Crypto Junkie, welcome, brother.
Hey, thank you guys.
Welcome, brother. What's going on? But wait 1 second. But kid, you told me to sell everything, bro. You said sell your house, your wife, your life for Refund. What are you talking about, man? I was like, what are you? He's like, yo, this guy, kid over here is like, Walter, you must grab every damn dime in your couch right now. But now I'm just playing around, kid.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah,
keep the dog after the divorce, Walter.
Yeah. Like, yo, this one's worth getting kicked out of the house. I was like, let's go. But no, I just had to. I'm just playing around. But that's just non-financial advice. But we already know where this project is going. Just had to throw a little comedy in there real quick. But yeah, man, Julio, I really appreciate you, man. The fact that the way you just spoke, you feel like you're one of us, and right away, my origins come from stocks, charting, and more. And just having a new guy like you coming on board and wanna do this, and I can already see you like you're fired up. You're ready to get your also your Twitter followers up and learn about Twitter and more, and speaking and networking. And the fact that you're a veteran, bro, already, and you're in the service, bro. And it's Memorial Weekend. I feel like that's like a blessing from God Himself, just having you come on, and it's like that's something special, man. I'm glad that you actually try to, you came in. It's like, how cool is that? We actually have somebody in the services on the Memorial Weekend come on the show that's actually, trying to make a change in his life and the people around him, and he's curious. And you're gonna be one of the pioneers and innovators of DeFi and more. So just thank you, man, for coming by, man. Just please reach out to me. I like to always be accessible. We all are equal. Don't ever forget where you come from. And let's go, man. Thank you, Julio, for coming in.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys, man.
Yeah, man. So Crypto J, go ahead, baby. Let's go.
First of all, I have to say, I've learned from your group, from Stucky, and from your pop, and I've only been in crypto for 2 years. I take my hat off to Julio and lots of other service members that protect their lives for our wonderful country that we live in. I came to live in this beautiful country 37 years ago with my family with really nothing. And to rise up and then also fall in my own business and be stuck with a bag of nothing, and then having to jump back into the workforce with 4 children is really brutal in our world that we live in. We have to make choices that don't fuck with our family's life, excuse the French. But when you look and see what DeFi brings to the world, and you don't have to be a stock investor, you don't have to be, you could be a regular Joe Schmo. And I had no effing clue about crypto. I'm a techie head, though. I've been in this industry for a long time. And being a technical person, this is a great space for the nerds because it is all nerd driven. But, we all have to be very careful, with what we do because, the space is extremely dangerous still. And, from finding Refund, and getting into it, I got into Refund Saturday. It was a week ago. I'm one of the first, day 2s into this. I wouldn't call myself a mad bag, but it's still a couple $100 million is still good in my eyes. And, for the amount of money that I put in was minimal. I want to give back to this community just like Stucky and your pop. And then now meeting, you guys, it's unbelievable to cross paths with other groups. And this space is insane. A lot of people, that are new and even old, you guys may just be playing in the DeFi space, for meme coins, or you buying a lot of ETH and a lot of, BNB and a lot of Bitcoin. I, got into this space and, got into a mem coin. I think we all started somewhere along the lines, maybe, where I came into with Safe Moon is when that got me in, and I got completely fucked on those coins and a lot of other coins along the way. And, kind of seeing what Pepe did and then being able to take some of my capital that, I made my investments into, nodes. Nodes are a great way to have intrinsic value into this crypto world because that the blockchain is not going away. And a lot of people that don't understand about blockchain and look into it, there's a use case for everything when it comes to crypto. And, I've been in the storage space in the IT world for 30 years. I'm an old cat. I'm 53 almost. And to see where we are going is just beautiful. The Web3 that's getting ready to come out, it'll probably be tarnished to Web4, but storage plays everything to move that data around and to move Web3. Web3 is part of the whole new reset to the internet. And then, you know, when you guys look at the internet, it's just read and write right now. Pretty soon with Web3, it will be read, write, participate, and own. If you own nodes, you could see massive value one day. It could be an ETH printer, a BNB printer. It could be anything. But seeing what this brings to the table, guys, is just insane. And I think RFD is going to pave the way to all new coins to have a team that's behind it like that, and then also having that liquidity. The liquidity is what's going to bring the big OG whales to this event. And I really truly never go online and speak, but I'm so fucking bullish on crypto right now. My wife tells me that I don't want to hear anything until it's in our bank account because, you know, I did fuck up, guys, and it once went up to 600K and I didn't sell, and that shit just dropped like a wildfire back last October when everything fell. And, you know, up until now, when you see everybody is being a bad actor out there, not everybody, but a lot of people are being bad actors. And just be secure, guys. Make sure you trade well. And, you know, I always tell people, if you don't, you know, use a VPN, if you have availability to get it. If you have an old iPhone, use that old iPhone to be your crypto rig, and then no other shit should be on there except for your wallet. So guys, practice well. I love new groups. Stucky and Yearpop are amazing group, and I'm just glad to see some other people waking up this morning and coming into this group. So hats off, gents and gals. I love what I see so far.
Oh yeah, baby, you got me fired up, dog. You got me hard as a missile. Let's go, baby. My boys got me going crazy right now. Let's get it. But yeah, man, this is literally like, what I like to call me and my boy Rob. I see you out there, schedule site. When things get scheduled, things get done. We call this the greatest wealth of transfer happening right now. And you say you're extremely bullish on crypto. Man, I'm extremely bullish on the tech, stock exchange 2.0 that I'm watching right now, and in our eyes. Like, it's literally like, I feel like we're little baby Warren Buffett's, but techie, and we're literally watching, crypto starting, changing the whole fiat currency, the whole world, the way the whole system works, like combining internet and technology all together. We literally, like I tell you guys, we're bigger than just making money right now. We are pioneers, innovators, educators, just motivators on what crypto and DeFi is really all about. And, we're going to make a change by changing other people's lives as well as we move on. So thank you for your take, man. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, this has been a great episode so far. To get that story of Refund out there, to have Papa come by, everybody chopping it up. We really appreciate everybody. And, honestly, the past 6 months, it's been crazy trying to put together these shows, honestly, just to have it all culminate to something like this. It's definitely something that we're proud of, and we're very appreciative of everybody that supports us. We've been pushing this hard. Me and Walter, we met in Elongate. I started out as a holder there, one of the first 100, and then I ended up on the core team, just like helping manage the socials, the Telegram, the YouTube, the Facebook, and what have you. And I'm just a normie, right? I'm not a developer, not any of those sort of things, but I was able to put the idea of a charity cryptocurrency into the world. So, I mean, for the newcomer that's coming in, you don't have to be super tech oriented. I didn't know a lot that was going on, when I really started to dip my toes into DeFi the past few years. But, I went and I learned it. So, there's so much information out there you can go through and watch. Like Yearpop has a great YouTube channel. Definitely tune into that. There's a lot of instructional things and things to where you can verse yourself, and you can go onto Binance. It has a lot of different tools and what have you to help elevate your education as far as what's going on with DeFi. And a lot of people, they don't understand the halving cycle and basically the ups and downs of crypto. A lot of people get trapped at the top, as far as, bull runs and what have you. So it's definitely really important to understand, what's going on before you dip your toes. And I encourage those that are brand new and what have you to get involved in, more stable things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, things like that as they, introduce themselves. Because when you get into these smaller caps, it gets a lot riskier, and I want people to be around for longer in DeFi. So I just want people to go through the motions, I guess, the right way. It's just, it's super important, to me, that people understand the risks, and I think it's a great starting place to start, with some of the legacy coins, some of the huge, top 50 type projects. That way you can kind of ease your way into, and then it's definitely a gamble, and but to be able to gamble finding new projects with a little bit more comprehension as far as what's going on is really, really important. I can't I can't say that enough. But anyways, enough of that. We have a great second guest on. We just came from Bitcoin Miami, and that was like the word on the street. Talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, is definitely the talk of town right now. There's been a lot of interesting developments. I know you guys have been hearing about ordinals, BRC20 tokens. I know it was one of those things that Bitcoin maxis were arguing about which way, but it's here to stay. And DeFi is being built on top of Bitcoin, which is absolutely amazing. And we have one of those pioneers, Benny, today to talk about his project Track, and to kind of explain it, because I'm even very new to it, so I need to learn a little bit more about it. So not only excited to have a project and a dev that's developing, but to kind of help explain it and teach us all what's going on. So welcome to the show, Benny.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, kid.
What's going on, man? I just came from the Bitcoin convention. Let's talk about where crypto just all started, the DeFi blockchain, Bitcoin. And the fact that I just came, and when I came from that event, let me tell you, that was literally one of the greatest moments again of my life. Every time I go, it just gets bigger and better for me. Just looking at what's going on and seeing, really what the grand schemes of DeFi is doing. And let me tell you, when I'm telling you, I met the biggest people in the spaces and crypto I did, and just in one shot, one opportunity. I don't know how. It was the universe, talking back for all the hard work my community's been doing, me and Kid have been doing. And let me tell you, Bitcoin ordinals are the talk of the town, because that's the origins of Bitcoin. We talk about omegas, right? Without Bitcoin, there is nothing. So the fact that you are one of the pioneers of this is out of control. And to have you on talk about Bitcoin ordinals is going to be out of control, man. So thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And thanks, Kid. Thanks, Walter, Papa, and everybody else who's attending. Well, yeah, OG, kind of. Ordinals OG started in February. I was working on an actual multi-chain marketplace for EVM chains back then in February. And when I got wind of this, I immediately dropped the mic. So, and since then, I'm, you can say a full-time assigned to this, because it's less philosophically. I heard the talk about Refund today, pretty interesting. But it's more about practical stuff right at the moment. People are building all the infrastructure that is necessary. There's a lot of experiments. There is a lot of things that go wrong, right? For example, I don't know if you heard about that yesterday. The cursed ordinals started to show up, or no, a couple of days ago, actually. Started to show up where you basically have negative inscription numbers, yeah, derived from another bug in the ordinals wallet. These are basically ordinals that couldn't get indexed, right? And they're trying to figure ways how to include that later on, right, in new versions moving forward. And of course, somebody else put out an Explorer a few days ago that already lets people let people see what negative cursed ordinals are there, and of course, thousands of people aped in, right, without knowing what's actually going on. So just to give you a brief overview of what is going on in space, it's a complete mess. It's chaotic. It's a lot of experiments, and I love it. That because of that, right? Nothing is streamlined. So there are attempts, for example, to make or to polish things like early on, like streamlining. We know on Ethereum, right? So you have MetaMask, you have all sorts of services around that. But it's Bitcoin. It's a very hard to tame beast, yeah. And because of that, there is a lot of opportunity also for developers to jump right into that and to help streamlining it, actually, which will take a while. I can tell you that already, because you know Bitcoin itself is quite a complex beast, right? And ordinals by itself are very complex, and this naturally derives then to more complex stuff, right? And when BRC20 showed up, it was basically the idea basically behind this. It was a Domon guy who came up with this meta protocol. He's basically was basically utilizing collectible with just text in it that defines certain actions, right? For example, if I want to deploy a token, I'll define a JSON text with the intention, okay, I'll deploy a token now, right? Okay, cool. It's deployed. Then would then lead basically to a stealth mint where there other people could inscribe another collectible, an ordinal, with a similar text structure that says, okay, I'll mint that many from that deployed token. Okay. So that by itself doesn't do nothing. So you need something that is able to track basically who deployed what, who was the first, who minted what, and then of course there are transfers, how are transfers managed in Domo was more or less then writing down specs for that, publishing it, and a few entities like Unisat, for example, wrote trackers, centralized trackers, that deal basically with who owns what, for basically all the balances for BRC20 tokens. And this is, of course, not really, I mean, for now it's okay, right? You need to have a source to know what your balances are. But with progression, and since it's built upon a decentralized thing, right, Bitcoin, it's the demand is just there to have that decentralized, that access decentralized, so you're not relying on a central bank that tells you how much you own, right? So and there are different approaches right now, or different ideas that try to tackle this. I think Alex Labs wanted to do something. And there's Track, and Track is basically the project that I'm also signed on. And back then, I basically deployed a token just as a let's say to be a vote on if somebody needs it. The idea was to have a decentralized tracker, not necessarily a tracker on chain. Maybe come back to that later. But a few hours later, it got minted out. So the vote was done. Okay, we started to form the community, and since then I'm working on a decentralized tracker that is not on chain, that enables people not just to track basically the balances decentralized, but also track other protocols, for example, .sats domains, collections, or whatever comes after, right? And this also comes with some incentives because it's decentralized. There will be relays involved, for example, not nodes, I call them relays. And with further progression, if the network is getting bigger, then will have an actually decentralized place where all these things can be managed with. So that more or less sums it up what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a lot of things at the same time too. I'm helping a little bit out with cost audience, for example, but also I'm also working on the parent project, which is Rarity Garden. This is a completely different thing, but a track basically spawned from that. So that's more or less what I'm working on. I don't know how much you are into that field yet. If you have, I don't know, a specific question, just shoot. It's a lot going on, and I have basically a lot of knowledge from now till back then to February. Thank you.
No, that's awesome, man. No, we appreciate it. Honestly, I haven't taken part, in that ecosystem, but I'm very curious about it. Just seeing people innovate DeFi, on Bitcoin is very interesting because I know that it's something quite difficult to do, and to see people building kind of in the spirit of of old school DeFi and being very innovative, it was definitely something really attractive, for me to check out. My friend Jacob in the audience actually had told me about what you guys are doing, and I know just from some of the biggest YouTubers that sector is garnering a lot of interest. I think I was watching Crypto Banner. I love that show. Rand's great, and he's actually very bullish on DeFi. Being built on Bitcoin and BRC 20, tokens. Starting to be deployed. Kind of bringing back the narrative full circle. Back to Bitcoin because it was different speculative cycles. Where there was different waves of new tech and what have you, and it's really interesting that it's kind of came full circle the past few bull runs to where, a lot of people are speculating that this is going to be a huge industry. It's still very new. Like you said, there's a lot of experiments going on. And yeah, that's what's exciting about DeFi. And yeah, really, really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm very ignorant. I'm not going to lie, but that was also kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on as a guest because I felt like it would be a great learning opportunity for myself and for Walter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to share some insights, if I could, if you guys don't mind, just a little bit about Benny, and since I'm up here.
Sure.
Yeah. Go
Because,
ahead, brother.
like you said, not knowing, right? One thing about Benny is he's very much into driving the decentralization. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't want Coinbase to control everything that's on Etherscan, right? That's just not something that we would want. We would want all of that information to be available in a decentralized manner so that anybody that's building in Web3 or they're developing, they can plug into that decentralized source of truth, right? So it's kind of like Etherscan and Chainlink in one thing. That's what Track was put together. He put it forward to be that. And it's just another project that he's doing. This guy's a builder. I mean, he's not a promoter so much, but he is a builder. And what he's doing and what he's continued to do is to deliver value for the people in the ordinal space. In the beginning, they think about it. If you were going to go inscribe something on Bitcoin, in the beginning, they were putting their brand on your images that you were inscribing on Bitcoin, and they were charging you really high fees. And he came out with looksordinal.com and dropped the fees 90% for everybody that was minting, made it much easier for people to do it. And someone was charging, just another example with these cursed ordinals that he was talking about. They were charging $150 every time they would do a cursed ordinal for you. And someone asked Benny, hey, could you build this into your tool? And he goes, oh, let me look at it a little bit this evening. Within a few hours, he'd put the tool out there. We went from 2,000 cursed ordinals to over 64,000 in 36 hours. I mean, there was a huge demand. It was just that $150 was a huge bottleneck for people to pay that on top of the high gas that they were paying, right? So he is a builder. He's doing things. For me, the reason I'm involved in it, the reason I'm passionate about it is because I value development. and this guy is a developer. He's a builder. He understands decentralization. He understands how important that is, and that's why I support him.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to hear. And I couldn't describe that better, actually. Yeah, that's really nice. Um, in regards to DeFi, I would like to add there are already a few projects that try to bring on liquidity in the form of DeFi projects, and um, this is also important where tracking comes into play, right? Because they're also using all these meta protocols, and even if they would use an envelope within the witness data, it's a little bit technically right now, but you could put that there too, right? You would still need to track that. Yeah. You have basically a decentralization gap here. So what happens is basically with these meta protocols is that you need to define rules. It's not just data; it's actually algorithms that somebody needs to come up with that are being applied on the raw data and return something meaningful. That is naturally causing a decentralization gap, right? And track is, I mean, I'm working on this every day, and I'm making like pretty good progress right now. Is solving that in a manner that you can basically have these centralized aspects in the sense of, okay, I have a cool idea how to provide some data. I have a cool algorithm, right? I want to bring that to people, but how can I do that, right? So then the idea of track is not just to do that in a decentralized way, but enables that person or a group of persons also to take part in the track ecosystem. So I imagine it at some point to become something like a marketplace for these kind of algorithms, yeah, and the data that derives from that. I have some ideas how to do that still in a decentralized manner, having such a marketplace. So an idea could, well, not an actual could be, but it's an actual thing that I'm working towards. To is let's say you have a cool algorithm like, I don't know, BRC20 indexing, for example, right? So who owns what balances and things like that. And you have that's free, right? And you have an additional idea, an additional package you want to put on that. But for that, you want extra money. You want to earn something. Of course, everybody wants to earn something, right? And in a similar way that you would like pay some API provider here, some pay some API provider there, you would basically pay track, yeah, access the data from that developer in a decentralized manner, and track forwards the payments to the data provider in the end. So you would basically have then not just a decentralized data that is being served, but also a marketplace, a decentralized marketplace for these purposes. And there will be a lot coming. It's just at the beginning. Especially these DeFi protocols, they will enormously they will be enormously popular time when the time moves forward, right? Because that is in the end what needs to be available. We need liquidity, right? For example, all these tokens, or most of the tokens right now, they are stealth mints, right? So there is nothing like in quote unquote ICO and things like that. So some are trying that, but most 99% are not. And you know what happens if you don't have liquidity, right? They dump hard, right? So and these protocols, they need to be tracked, and you want to have some sort, of course, of decentralized source of truth, right? But you also want to probably trade that information. That is what I'm also trying to solve with track.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You know, just having that emerging industry, like I find the whole thing intriguing, and I know you guys are definitely taking on a hard task. I know the SHA 256 standard and whatnot. It's pretty hard for developers, you know, to develop on. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through today. I definitely am interested. I'm going to spend more time, doing more research. But yeah, it's really cool, man, and definitely within the spirit of DeFi, what you guys are doing over there.
Yeah. Kid Crypto, one thing I'd just like to add is it's being recognized in the world about Track 2, just real quick, in less than 30 seconds. It's being recognized by the world. Gate.io is one of the first centralized exchanges to start listing the BRC20 tokens. And they had originally asked for $50,000 to be raised from the community in order to donate it from the community. $50,000 in valuation, right, of the tokens to list on Gate.io. In 24 hours, they gave them 24 hours to raise it. The community raised just over just over $10,000, and Gate took that. They, 20% of what they were asking, because they saw the value of what Track is doing here, and they listed it on Gate.io. Just a tweet came out today about Alex B20, which is one of the first decentralized exchanges in the space for BRC20s, like Uniswap is for ERC20s, and they're listing Track on their. They're asking for 0.5% of the token supply to be pledged, for trading, and then they're going to list it on there. So it's getting recognized as one of the first things, and with the actual utility in the space. That's it. Thank you guys for allowing us to speak.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys coming up. And yeah, Benny, if you want to add anything on, I would love to hear more, man. Honestly, this is actually one of the first times I've really had, the time to have somebody sit down and break it down. It's something that I've been very curious of, something that's definitely the buzz, the past few months. And yeah, man, just I have a lot of curiosity personally, just because it's all brand new to me. So yeah, man.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest. So first and foremost, BRC20 tokens, well, some like to call them safe and secure by design because there are no smart contracts. There's no smart contracts involved, so there are no. There cannot be. Well, it's how it is, right? There cannot be any sneaky algorithms like trying to drain your funds, right? On the other hand, you have the tracking issue, right? To get back on tracking, right? So you need to trust. You basically need to trust currently. You need to trust the centralized, or actually more centralized sources of truth, right? And their algorithms are slightly. They're trying to do the same thing, but the algorithms are different. So it can happen that at one place you own, I don't know, 1,000 of that token, and with the same token at another place you only own 500. Let's say, right? And these are things that can happen. So, but that's what's actually going on with BRC20. I think many people even don't know yet what ordinals are by themselves, right? So I think most grasp it, or trying to grasp it like it's being NFTs for Bitcoin, but they are practically they're not. Simply, or let me rephrase it. You can do much more with them in terms of the way how they make it on chain, right? So you could do something like NFTs in a similar manner with this typical thing that you reference the data somewhere with also with some meta protocol, right? But usually you would really like, that's what's called inscription, imprint data on the BTC chain. And so what it actually is utilizing BTC as a data storage. And if you have a decentralized data storage, and it's actually cheaper than Ethereum to store data on BTC, which is quite funny, even with these high fee rates that we have right now, it's still a lot cheaper. And it's not just that Bitcoin entered the collectible space and has now some sort of token, like BRC20, but it's actually, and that's what most people don't realize, you have a decentralized data storage, an actual storage that isn't able to consume much per transaction. but before that, it was kind of possible, but not in a. It was not fleshed out in a structured way like now. So, and if you have a decentralized storage, I mean, you can do all sorts of things, right? An affordable decentralized storage, you can do all sorts of things. And on Ethereum, for example, you technically you have some technical hurdles there that simply don't enable you to store really a lot of data there. I mean, most of you know that, right? So what can you store? A little bit pieces of information, right? Will already bring up the fees like to enormous rates. So, and this is actually the thing here that enables you to store a lot of data in comparison, a lot of more data in comparison to Ethereum in an affordable way, and that from here, imagination is basically the limit, right? So you can imagine to do all sorts of things, right? You can use it for collectibles, images, JPEGs, whatever, but also gamification. I mean, you can easily store, let's say, 3D models, yeah, which are usually, if you leave the textures out, which are usually not that large, right? 3D models on chain, music, of course, right? And they are imprinted, and they are not just imprinted; they also enable you to provide some simple provenance mechanism. So how it works usually is the Bitcoin Apes project does that. For example, you literally saved as the JPEG, yeah, but the original, that one that's basically linked on the IPFS storage of Ethereum, and inscribe that on Bitcoin. So what happens then is, if you're the first one, it's trackable because you have an ID basically, and you can track who was the first and who's. And it works like this. In the ordinate space, like in terms of provenance, who inscribed first, yeah, is the genital creator of this JPEG, and basically owns the provenance, right? And anything else that is being inscribed later, or everybody who inscribed the same thing later, right, is not owning the provenance. So you have built-in provenance. You have also, when you flesh that out further and you go into the collectible space, you have built-in ERC11 50/50 support, yeah, with the addition of, because of this provenance thing, right? Because you can basically iterate over who did what at what time, have serial numbers within each entry of that JPEG, right? So if your JPEG, the very same JPEG got inscribed 10 times, right? And you were the fifth, you own the series number 5, right? There is a lot of little things like this. And like I mentioned earlier, in the end, imagination is the limit. We now have an affordable way of storing a relatively large amount of data right onto the biggest chain in terms of popularity that there is. And that's quite awesome.
I have a question. How much space does that have on Bitcoin? And when you talk about on-chain inscriptions and things like that having larger, it's like 24,000 on Ethereum or something like that, right? So I'm just curious of the comparison. And most NFTs aren't actually on-chain, but rather the metadata is routed from the chain. So this is actually like having that image or whatever models or whatever you're storing on there is actually on chain. So this is what makes it a lot different. Am I understanding this correctly? I just want to make sure I'm.
Yeah, it's correct in terms of that there are differences. For example, you can by default, by consensus, basically, it's 400 kilobytes of witness data you can store in a transaction. But if you can find a miner who's willing to include that in a block, it can be a lot more, but then you have to pay a lot more, of course, right? So technically, per transaction, it's possible to store more than 400 kilobytes. But usually you're limited to 400 kilobytes basically of data that you can store. But when you look at Ethereum, what most people probably do not really know about is that reading from the chain costs a lot too, right? You basically noted it just now. If you read too much data in one call, right, and that is not a lot of data you can read, your smart contract will error out. This is basically because reads also cost, and because of that they are limited. Reads on Bitcoin, it costs nothing. All you need is basically a BTC node, and then you can extract the witness data as you wish and put that, I don't know, into some hex decoder, right? And or you program something yourself to decode that, or use a service that decodes that. And then you have the data. It doesn't come with on-chain implied restrictions. Yeah. So you have advantages there and disadvantages there, and vice versa, right? But in the end, I believe after all these months, I mean, I'm also in the Ethereum space since quite a while, right? And funny enough, not so much in the BTC space until February, right? So I had to catch up a lot. But especially in the last couple of months, I realized that depending on what you're doing, especially in the collectible space, you have a clear edge over Ethereum. If you are not too much, if you don't need to rely too much of an actual smart contract. The point of smart contracts is that is a feeling that I have since quite a few years is that sometimes you need smart contracts, although it's completely bullshit to use them, right? Because you wouldn't need them. I had the feeling, or I have the feeling that sometimes you just need to use smart contracts for the sake of it, right? But not all the time. So this ordinance thing forces you more or less to think differently in a way that that you find ideas on what you are on what you're doing actually to the tiniest little bit of functionality that is actually required, and not try to to create exponential complex algorithms that can blow off in your face, right? Because you weren't able to track errors early enough. I mean, for example, complex smart contracts on Ethereum, just saying diamond pattern, right? And you're updating something not in the right way, or you have the slightest issue, right, in some DeFi protocol, and you're losing money, right? You don't have that here, but then you also don't have that complexity. So and that's the right balance to find here, right? And especially in terms of DeFi. Maybe there are somebody will find out a simple, cool way to allow the first real native DeFi protocol applications together with that ordinal system that wouldn't find its equivalent, its 100% matching equivalent on Ethereum, right? So, and that's what I meant earlier about experiments. We're now in the phase where people are trying to streamline things to look like on Ethereum, but I think in the end it will diverge that much because people realize it's not the same thing. You cannot do the exact same things, right? So you would rather use Bitcoin, for example, for this kind of thing, and Ethereum on the other hand, or EVM chains on the other hand, for these kind of things. Yeah. And DeFi in a couple of years on Bitcoin with ordinals will look totally different That's what that's my strong belief. Totally different than how they look or will look on Ethereum in 2 years.
Oh yeah, baby. No, I mean I love everything about what's going on. The fact that we can actually now do contracts on Bitcoin. That is the omega of the omegas in a sense. Without Bitcoin, there's nothing. And the fact that someone like you is innovating and doing this right now, it's the technology is way ahead of its time. Bitcoin still was ahead of its time, and now we're seeing maybe some updates and stuff like that. How people, like Lightning Network and things like that, that we're trying to make the contract work more flexibility in a sense where it can be faster send and quicker and now we're seeing now like this uprise in Bitcoin contracts getting really done because people are like oh we're gonna do contracts on Doge and we saw that what happened and we saw with Shib and then with Shibarium and we're still trying to find out what's kind of going on but something like Bitcoin that it's dibbling in that, and people have been like, you have the big Bitcoin maxis that just love only Bitcoin and only speak of it. They are well going to be so intrigued by this, and the fact that someone like you is doing this, and people are getting that curiosity, it just shows because especially us in DeFi, we're always usually really ahead of the game with information. So the fact that we're learning this, we're like really in the skims of it. It's like right when you just start reading the book right from the beginning, this is what's going on right now, and we're already curious about it. And the fact that we're gonna be able, to have other projects, they can be on like let's say Ethereum, but then they can put out another ecosystem maybe of NFTs or another project within that project because it's under Bitcoin or as well just be able to be backed up by a contract by Bitcoin because when it goes up, Bitcoin is gonna go up to extreme levels. The Bitcoin having non-financial advice, but we've seen, the trends and more of the patterns. This is something that already, people are already watching in DeFi, the real true people that are, speaking of Web 3.0 blockchain, they're already talking about it. They're talking about Bitcoin ordinals. Like that is the talk of the town because everybody wants to speak of it. It's like the same thing when NFTs were ahead of its time, on Ethereum. And, we saw that boom with Bored Ape and more and like Visible Friends and bigger projects like Pudgy Penguin. Just the fact that now everybody that's in that culture in DeFi that are, the biggest names in the space already trying to learn about Bitcoin ordinals. Like just because there's no, I guess, I don't know if there's no hype behind it. I don't know if people are not like, not understanding how huge this is that we can actually now do Bitcoin contracts. This is going to be something that people were like, man, I wish I did some more deep diving, learn more about it because this is literally going to change, the whole DeFi space now. And it's a no-brainer how Bitcoin changed everything, right? So why not something that Bitcoin is now backed up that everyone's like, oh, if it's not Bitcoin, I don't, I don't want to mess with it because it's literally the gold of blockchain. And the fact that you're able to, merge that together and be the founding fathers in a sense where, you're starting right from the beginning, we're in 2023 about to hit the June and go about to the Bitcoin halving. Any projects that start off now, it's a no-brainer during the bull run incoming that those projects will succeed because that's like the beginnings of when we saw projects blow up on Ethereum or BNB. This one is going to be one that that takes off, and the fact that you're already starting to educate all the DeFi and more about this is going to really change everything, the way people look at Bitcoin in a sense and blockchain, that now we actually have contracts being on Bitcoin.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Benny. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just since it's such a new space, for me, I'm a teacher at heart, right? And I like to help other people understand what's going on here. When you talk about ordinals, guys, there's more than just BRC20, if you think of how ERC20 is created on Ethereum, right? That's what BRC20 is on Bitcoin. But there's other things besides just BRC20 and ordinals. There's what's called LRC20, which is, they think about Litecoin was the first altcoin that launched successfully after Bitcoin, right? So there's also where they're working on putting that on Litecoin. So they have LRC20 or DRC20, which is on Dogecoin. So with Track and it being tracking meta protocols, it can track all of those things, not just what's going on Bitcoin. It can track what's going on Litecoin. It can track what's going on Dogecoin. There's going to be a lot of this as it continues to roll out through all of the chains that were derived from Bitcoin as it continues to advance and move forward. For all the reasons, for fees and every other reason that people move to Litecoin and to Dogecoin and other things now. The same kind of thing will continue to happen. So it's an emergent space. I go all the way back to early 2017 when I got in the space. My experience is, back then you had this sort of the shitcoinosphere that popped up where you had all of the forks of Bitcoin and all of the fork wars and everything that happened over blockchain space and all of that. And then we went through the winter. And then the things that got created in 2017, you end up having Uniswap that got created, right? And you had, when the ERC20 standard was created, you had the whole craze that happened around the ICOs and all of the money that was made and lost around that. And then we went through the winter, I guess. And then coming out of that, Uniswap was created. We had the DeFi summer. So we had everything that happened in DeFi and everything that happened in the NFT space and all the money that was made there. It was all new narratives, right? And where are we at now? Now we're sort of at the bottom of the cycle. We're starting to come up from the bottom of the cycle. What's the new narrative that's happened? What's the new narrative that's going to be here for the bull run of 24 and 25? In my view, having been here since early 2017, I think a big part of it's going to be around ordinals.
Well, to me, this feels already enormously like a bull run. Like back in 2020, I was also involved in a bigger project regards to NFTs, and there is not much difference. It's there is actually a bull going on the ordinals in the ordinal space, and then that's it's maybe not comparable in size to what it has been on Ethereum back then, but then there are also fewer players, right? The workload, the amount of people I'm dealing with is actually a lot higher than it was back then. And that felt already pretty exhausting in terms of we're having a bull run. It feels a lot like a bull run already. And I'm really curious what's going to happen if there is an actual crypto-wide bull run again, right? Nobody knows that, but it could be tough, yeah, for people being early enough in that space already, right? Also because Bitcoin it's not easy to tame. It's quite a beast, right? And speaking of maxis, it's also the culture in the space is completely different. It's entirely developer focused, developer centric. On Ethereum, you can say big corporations, people with huge bags, people with deep pockets. They are although there are not many people that are really good in solidity development. They are capable of hiring them all and treat them like shit. Like I saw that happening. They're literally like garbage. You're like you have to imagine you're a developer in an extremely specialized field. You are highly demanded. You are like one mistake and you're that thing, right? It's like that special, and you're treated like garbage by these people. I must say that at this point because I'm a developer too, just to give you like an insight, right? And on BTC, it's the polar opposite. I saw that happening when Yuga was showing up with their 12-fold, with their 12-fold auction. And the main ordinals developer back then, he was calling them out for about the way how they did that, right? So send us BTC and we will send you the ordinals, right? That kind of thing. And was calling them out pretty harshly. If you have even the devs between themselves, you have maxis, you have non-maxis, but they're devs. They share most of the same opinions, but not all of them. So they are calling each other out, right? They are trying they are trying to compete basically over what's going on Bitcoin. So it's highly developer centric and developer driven, and that's why, in my opinion, established companies, established people with deep pockets, they won't find an easy way to get a hold of this space, especially in terms of development. Sure, right now when we're talking, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people trying to tell their employees to learn this BTC stuff, right? But they will never, because they are not that kind of people who are involved in BTC, never have the same standing like the established ones, right? So this is also a chance for completely new and, in my opinion, also honest businesses. Sorry, my dog. Honest businesses to emerge, right? That are based on not so much on the pump, on the shill, but based on supply and demand, right? So that's what I'm seeing here right now at the moment. And what is the difference to the Ethereum space?
That's funny, Benny, with the
No,
dog in the background.
absolutely, man.
I can tell Benny.
Yeah,
I can tell
yeah.
Benny has learned the lesson. The bigger the
No,
dog, the
it's all
bigger
it's
the
all
turtle.
good. No, I love it. No, but guys, really honestly, like, because people, in the origins, you always want to teach about people about blockchain, right? So I'm like, oh, how do I teach somebody about blockchain right away in crypto? You're not gonna start, oh, you gotta get Ethereum and then you go on Uniswap and then go get this contract and then you go on the Telegram. Then you gotta find out the community is good. Then you gotta, you gotta look at the charting. You might get cheated on. Maybe you serve the Devis docs, bro. At this point, you sound crazy. So you're like, hey, you need to learn about Bitcoin. And the fact that now Bitcoin people that, that actually, from have humongous wallets, humongous whales in Bitcoin and maxis that I've met in Bitcoin convention. Now the fact that we're on our way to the halving and now we're actually giving Bitcoin, I mean, do people understand we're giving it's getting its utility, and without Bitcoin, there's nothing. So the fact that you guys are literally, it's like literally the beginning. I call it maybe the Satoshi students. Maybe we can, hashtag that Satoshi student, like people that are actually doing, contracts on Bitcoin. And when those whales in Bitcoin that are only about Bitcoin, let's just say, or, or only, speak about, the why, even crypto was going up because of Bitcoin, then now they have something that they can, look into projects and move their money around. And then that's gonna stimulate Bitcoin to go up even higher. People are gonna be like, oh, you gotta purchase Bitcoin, to get in this project. So people now that are holding Bitcoin are gonna want to hold even more because they know that there's even more coming behind it. So it's just giving something that already had enough fuel for fire. You're just throwing, NOS at it. You're throwing fucking explosions at it
Exactly.
because now there's something huger behind it. And I think everybody's been waiting, talking smack about, oh, what do you win utility? When's this? And then everyone's like, wait, Bitcoin is everything. And you have those type of people, especially the, people love, of course, Ethereum is one. I think Bitcoin maxis are starting to see the wave with Ethereum and into the meme market to, get utility. But now that the fact that you're adding, all this and, actual contracts and actual projects behind it, Bitcoin ordinals will be not nearly the talk of the town. It will be, in my eyes, will be the, the tier blockchain to really start projects and be backed up. Be like, oh, is your token backed up by Bitcoin? And the fact that you guys are doing it right now, people are gonna try to experiment. But whoever goes full throttle in this, and we come into the halving when Bitcoin's up 80, 90, $100,000, any of these projects that start from the origins now are going to be those legacy tokens. And we already saw what happened with the legacy tokens that blew up with Ethereum, like Shib, SafeMoon, and with Binance. We saw just crazy amount. Like, I saw what Elon Gate was on Binance, went up to $700 million plus. That is what really can happen. And something like now, whoever starts a project on Bitcoin, that there's so much, literally, there was almost $1 trillion or top more during the last bull run. So the fact that Bitcoin, can hit $2 to $3 trillion market cap by itself in the future, anyone doing anything on Bitcoin ordinals, that is the top of the notch will be, if you say NFTs like worth, 100 grand, 200, you can think maybe NFTs or projects on Bitcoin are going to be 20, 30x that, because the fact that it's backed by Bitcoin, so many people, the volume is going to be even higher than ever coming up. Everyone is right now adopting, blockchain and more. You already see it becoming, Bitcoin becoming a tender everywhere. And, it's just literally the beginnings. And thank God you guys are right now, we're in the track of right course to continue that legacy and now start getting actual contracts and projects on Bitcoin right now at a pivotal moment. I think at the pure, they call it I guess the pure exhaustion, or I guess the pain factor, like maximum pain, where people don't know what to do, what they're kind of still skeptical of blockchain, and we're right about like that slide up that just goes boo all the way up when everyone thought everything was down. And the fact that you guys are doing projects now on Bitcoin, we'll be talking about this. Like, we were there for the history around May, and when Bitcoin really ordinal started kicking off, man. So trust me when I tell you I'm excited to actually know that, because I know projects in the future, big, like let's say real estate projects, actual big, like infrastructures like like BlackRock or BNY Mellon want to have maybe a project backed up by Bitcoin. And let's say they're like, hey, we're gonna create our own project or token. They're most likely gonna do it on Bitcoin, and that's what I'm looking at with just the way history makes itself.
Yeah. You know what's cool about BRC20? The 4-letter limit. And that makes them sort of recyclable. I think many people didn't think about it yet, but if you have it's like with domains. If you have like a cool ticker, let's say tick, right? Whatever. And the project behind it failed, and then the token price went to zero. Nothing keeps holding you back than buying up all these tokens, or most of the tokens, for cheap and start over. That's basically what I see will be happening moving forward, because the ticker supply is so limited, right? The cool tickers are all gone, right? Or most of them are gone, and there will be some market, and then we're back also at that provenance, right? Because the deployment inscriptions, right? They enable you, for example, to, let's say, to transfer the ownership, right, of that project, but also they enable you to receive royalties, for example. Unisat had the idea, I don't know if they implemented that yet, but to send a cut of the fees that they earn to the deployer of a token, right? So, and if you own the deployment inscription, you will receive these royalties then from trading. Yeah. So there's a whole lot of things to discover yet, but I think especially the recyclability of BRC20 tokens is what makes it insanely interesting, because it's all about limited supply.
They're limited in supply because they can only be 4 digits, right? They can only be 4 characters, and that's what makes them limited in supply.
Yeah.
And
you can, of course, create a ton random ones, right? But I'm talking about like work with domain names, cool ones like test, or I don't know,
track.
Exactly. Thank you. So that's actually it's going to become a thing, I believe.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Ever so fascinated with, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time this week to come up. I've been interested in it the past couple months. You know, me and Walt have just been crazy busy between the show, and we recently just took over a project from a slinky dev or whatever, because we happened to kind of get trapped into a project and fell in love with the people and all that. So we've been crazy fucking busy doing our thing, and I felt like it was something that we needed somebody to really, as an authority, to kind of come in and teach us and teach some of the other people, from our community and beyond and stuff, about what's going on. Because at the end of the day, our show is about just helping people explore, navigate, and see what's going on, and explore the different narratives and the different niches in a very, splintered world. Like our show, we try to include, all different chains, NFTs, small project, big project. It's really done through the lens of, us exploring as well. So thank you so much, Benny, for taking the time. I look forward to building a friendship with you. And Jacob, thank you so much for setting this up as well. One of my good friends in the space, he reached out and was like, dude, this is awesome. You need to reach out to Benny. What he's doing is fucking so rad. It's so punk rock. You're gonna love it, man. And that's how I feel about it. It's you look at different generations and kind of what defined them. The 60s and 70s were the hippie, had disco, late 70s hip hop, and going into the early 80s hip hop and punk rock and metal, and like everybody kind of has. And I look at like crypto as the same way that like people define themselves, even wearing like clothing and things, and what they identify as is, we're reaching a new social paradigm where people like different things for different reasons, the same way that they may like rap, and one person may like classical, and there's a flavor for everybody. And that's what is really cool about DeFi. That's what's really cool about crypto. And I feel like right now we're living theater of our very own generation. Ours is just a lot different. It's not music derived and stuff, but it still has the same type of connotations, kind of built into it, to where we have, a block of time, and what defines that block of time. And I think tech and what's going on with AI, blockchain, and just more efficient ways, for the world. And then also at the same time, a lot of these ideas and things put together really establish freedom in the long term, and having these type of decentralized protocols, allow for us to not worry, down the road and stuff, if we're going to have freedom stripped from us. So a lot of the undertones are really important as far as like our future for our kids, for our grandkids. And, that's why I'm so passionate about this space, is because I feel this time is as important, as any time in the history of mankind, where we really need to button down, all this different stuff going on to make sure that we have freedom in the future. As we can see, and as we know, fiat will not live forever. Fiat is by design a flawed system, and when we move from the gold system, into a fiat, it was basically a system that kicks the can down the road,
70 years.
and eventually, what's
Historic
up, brother?
70 years. Historically, they've only lasted about 70 years when they get off the gold standard, right? 70 years.
Agreed.
We started in
Agreed.
1971. Do the math.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we're gonna get to the point to where fiat's gonna collapse, and you better have your hook synced into something, or you're gonna get fucked. There's gonna be a generational fucking going on, and either either you're gonna secure your future and your freedom and things like that, or you're gonna get fucked. And that's honestly, it may not be today, it may not be in the next few years, it may not be in the next decade, but there will eventually be a day where that will have to be dealt with. And I think blockchain is one of those solutions. And I think things will eventually be. I mean, we're seeing what's going on with the CBDCs right now, with the Fed now about to drop. We obviously, China, open up the floodgates here June 1st, and there's going to be a lot of things going on. So, just make sure you keep yourself in the loop. Crypto is definitely going to be, a safe haven, with these type of collapse. We look at countries like, I remember in 2021, I had a Nigerian friend, and, 1 week they were paying, 100, whatever their currency is for bread. And the next week it was 800, and they had to deal with bullshit like that. And that's what, fiat collapse looks like, in corruption and things like that. And having crypto creates a fair society, and it creates one to where we can't get fucked. That's what DeFi is all about. It's keeping things fair and giving us true freedom. So, but yeah, sorry to go on a rant, but that's why I love DeFi. That's why I'm passionate. That's why we do this show. We just want to support the general community. Everybody's out there working hard on their own thing, and we love it, and we want to see everybody do good. And yeah, that's why we do this.
Oh yeah. And speaking about gold, you guys already know, super, super shout out to 24 Karat community. We are literally backed up by actual physical gold, Pax G, and people don't know our community. What we've been actually doing together is just something of a meta that no one's ever, seen, a community meme, logo, our utility behind us, actually want to actually make apparel and merchandise for our project and for other projects, and as well, buying assets, maybe like a Bored Ape, or maybe, purchasing a full Bitcoin, together as a community, little by little. And, we already were, transparent that we actually bought a bag for community for Refund as well. So we can, get everyone in the mix. So it's just something special what we're doing with 24 Karat, actually having something backed up by physical gold. And we already know what that narrative is, in the sense where, it's the oldest of oldest fiat from the beginning of time and more. And the fact that we literally have everything all together, a community that just backed up from founders like, Elongate and more. And the fact that we really truly want to make something special and safe in the space for everybody, that they don't have to worry about if anyone's going anywhere, or the community is not gonna, stop, out of nowhere. Look what we're doing. This show started from 24 Karat. Our community started just backing us up through thick and thin. When we started with just 30, 40 people, 50 people on the space, and now we have hundreds and thousands coming in, tuned in. That's just the power of community. And as well, your pop was talking about it as well, and Stecky, like, how cliche, it's all about a community. And the fact that, during the bull run, when Ethereum goes 5, 7, 10x, and Bitcoin goes 5, 7, 10x, the fact that we have, we're pegged by, Ethereum and more, when we get to millions of market cap, non-financial advice, but you already know where we're going. And now Bitcoin is taking it to the next level, with going to 100, 120K to really send DeFi and blockchain to the, to the stratosphere that we've been waiting for. We already know that gold is going to be going up as well with it, because people right now don't know where to put their fiat. And right now, people that are in techie and everything know, that Bitcoin is the one. And we saw it happen in 2000 and, in 11, 12, 15, 17, 19, 20, and 21, we saw Bitcoin hit the highs of 70K. And it's literally the digital gold. And now we're seeing that, people are screaming out, get back to the origins of fiat, and that's gold. And the fact that 24 Karat is backed up by gold, people get actual, rewards for holding, interacting with the contract, and the fact that they're, holding something, so powerful like this. And we're going to be taking that market cap to the next level. People don't really understand, what me and Kid and the community have the capabilities of what we can do together as one community. So, we will be taking this to the next level during, the summer and as well the bull run, being a legacy, meme token that's backed up by gold and having a real base community that just, literally has interacted with the biggest projects in the world. I just wanted to make sure I give a special shout out to 24 Karat, and we're just beginning. Wait till you guys see the stuff we have coming on. But yeah, man, just had to make sure I let the community know what we're doing and more for 24 Karat, and everyone better get in now, or you could get left out. So non-financial advice. You already know how me and Kid work. So yeah, guys, just have to explain our narrative and how we're tying gold that everybody's gonna basically be speaking about when it goes up to $2,000-3,000 soon and more. Everyone's gonna be like, yo, this is buy, make sure you buy some gold, and like, hey, we got a project that's back to buy it, and you actually accumulate enough where you can actually get physical gold sent to you from Pax G when you get enough in your wallet, and we'll be explaining that. But thank you guys for hearing us out for 24 Karat. It's literally my baby and more, and we're not gonna stop until we get to 100 million market cap, baby. So let's go. So yeah, I want to do a quick shout out real quick before anything goes on, because I know people have been waiting. I want to give a special shout out to schedulesite.com. My boy Robert, he's been doing this for years. When he always says, when things get scheduled, things get done. And you guys need to check out schedulesite.com. This is where you need to schedule everything from events, parties, spaces, more. And he's an amazing, just man in general, one of my mentors, been supporting us from the beginning. So I just wanted to make sure he knows and more that we're not stopping until we get schedulesite.com up around the whole world as well. This man is a networking animal. He literally met the biggest people in the space during the conference and more. So just give out a special shout out to schedulesite.com. Check it out, guys. And and then we got to always talk about Crimson. I want to talk about Crimson. They are literally the protectors and saviors of Telegram and more. They help out everybody in the space, just making sure that your Telegram is safe. And they come to the rescue in all technical capabilities, seeing if making sure there's not no bad actors in there that's gonna take over the Telegram or hold it hostage, or spamming that you can't control, and pretty much take hostage of your actual community and your project. And so vital Telegram is, and more in security. What they're doing is just not Telegram. They literally are gathering data and information. So shout out to Crimson. What you guys doing? We already know you guys are gonna be an amazing project. And of course, my man Luke out here, Board Arb. Board Arb is Yacht Club is super out of control bullish. The fact they are with Arbitrum, and as well with Board Ape, and the community they have, it's just a real big family and huge, and they're holding strong. So you already know they come in all our spaces. So Board Arb, Yacht Club, love you guys to the fullest. And speak about for different projects, BNB as well. We got Grumpy Cat that's been out here and coming out speaking, and they're doing things different in BNB, trying to get it up. So thank you, Grumpy Cat, for coming by. I see you guys. So yeah, man, just wanted to give a special shout out to everybody out here.
Yeah, big shout out to Jules as well from Shuggy. I see you in the audience. Khan from Colt Dow, I see you out there, buddy. Everybody, man. Yeah, like we just want to see all the projects do good and all the communities. That's why we put together this show. I think we probably had like 70, 80 different projects on. And yeah, we just, at the end of the day, we're all in DeFi. We're all trying to build. We're trying to add our own, ideas into the mix and what have you. And literally, that's what it's about, man. We're all the people that have been working in the bear market, man, just trying to build up. And much respect to everybody, showing up every day, even in the tough, waters that the bear market is, man. And we're getting closer and closer to the bull market, where the fruits of our labor are really going to shine.
So yeah, big shout out to everybody out there. We run this space, from pure love, man, just to get everybody involved, man. And we do our best to keep it legit. There's always going to be projects that kind of slip between the cracks or whatever, but we've had really good reputable projects on that just stay busy, man. I'm really proud of all you guys that show up to work every day and make
Oh
your
yeah.
communities proud.
Oh yeah. And this is why we started the show, just to give anybody, the little guy or, the humongous, omega space like Refund a time and a slot, because you never know what's gonna, emerge. And I've like, the chances of speaking to Luke, and man, let me tell you, man, from Board RBR Club, man, this man is so passionate. He reminds me of me, like just sometimes like how just like enthusiastic he's about it, so confident, and I want to see him win, in the bull run and more. And he's really setting the foundation, being a pioneer in DeFi and crypto, making that move now, and just starting something bigger than himself. You can tell that he truly wants to see this project succeed, and it's not from greed or nothing. So I mean, shout out to my boy Luke. He really is doing a lot of big things in the space for just creating communities, a safe project, wants better for for everybody. And the fact that we can literally host these spaces to give people a platform to market their projects and more. This is what we stand for. People like Luke, people like Jules in the space, with Shib, that are really actual, just amazing people in real life, and then they're actually taking their time to just be these just enormous, just out of control, just vocal leaders and developers for crypto and more. So just shout out to everybody. I didn't miss out on anybody. There's my community alone is just out of control, but I just want to make sure that people know that we have these long shows, but without you guys we wouldn't be anywhere. So just we never forget where we come from, and we're not gonna stop, guys. The world famous Kid and Walter show has just begun. The origins right now of where we come from with Carrot and more is gonna be, just a story to tell. So I'm on a real tangent right now. I'm ready to do another 2 to 3 hours of the show. Let's go. I see OG Dadbot with his hand up. Let's go. What's up, Dadbot?
First off, I want to say what an amazing show so far, guys. You guys just kill it like you do every single Sunday. What a banger, right? First, you have Refund, which is just amazing, and they're just bangers, right? Then you have Track. What more can you say? Wow. And we're talking about the BTC, which is, I mean, sometimes they kind of get forgotten a little bit, how they, for a while they got kind of scammy, and so everyone just kind of pushed to the Ethereum, right? And with all this being said, hearing all these different BTC projects, I'm just wondering if there's any chance, if we could bring up Lordy, the dev of Pepe Lady, and if you could talk about his project a little bit. It just launched, I believe, 6 days ago now. If that's all right with you, Kid, and Walter.
Yeah, of course, we're always down to hear different projects. I think we're at that moment of time where we're ready to listen to some projects. Kid, is there anybody you wanted to have, Kid, before we started doing that? Having people come in and start talking about the project.
Yeah, anybody can come in. What I'll also say to the audience is a lot of times with this part of the segment of the show, we don't get to do a lot of research on projects. So please, do your own research. We want to create a place where people can communicate, and we do like an open mic where we bring in projects to talk. But like during this segment, I just want to put it out there that we're on the show, so we're not able to do research, on these. So just like any time buying DeFi projects, please go check things out, make sure they're good and what have you, because there, is a lot of scammers and things in the space. But yeah, this portion, we allow anybody that wants to come up on stage. to talk about what they're working on, or they can ask some questions to the panel. Like Benny, I'm sure would like, if anybody has any questions about ordinals or BRC20. This is kind of our freestyle segment of the show where it becomes more banter rather than like the structured part of the show. But yeah, make sure you do your own research, guys, and be safe. But yeah, they're more than welcome to come up on stage. I believe we have Board Arb Yacht Club Luke up
Let's
first.
go.
We'll go ahead and have him talk.
Hey, what's going on, kid? What's up, Walter?
What's up, my dog Luke? This is part of the show where I jump in the pool and I'm just laid out and I'm like, I did it, but I already know that what you guys are about. And this is actually where I get to just relax and have fun and actually listen to really what's going out there. And man, Luke, man, you are the man, the myth, the legend in the making. And I know this. And I'm just, it is a privilege and an honor to have you on the show as you begin the journey in DeFi.
No, likewise, guys. I mean, again, as I say every weekend, you know, this isn't a damn Twitter space. This is a damn show. So definitely thankful for you guys having us on here. Truly is humbling. This show in particular, though, you know, as I've been listening in, I mean, I consider this a informational, inspirational space. I mean, this has just been absolutely crazy with Refund. And we start talking about Track and then Bitcoin. And, you know, when we started talking about Bitcoin, the one thing that came to mind is what Michael Saylor, you know, says about it. And it's really, you know, he says it's in the best interest of the US dollar to move at the speed of light. And I mean, if that doesn't make you bullish on the concept of Bitcoin, I don't know what would. So, yeah. But regarding the project, I mean, guys, you know, this is going to be a big week for us. If you didn't already know, a little bit of background about the Bored Arb Yacht Club. Basically, what we're doing is we're blending Arbitrum in with the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT ecosystem. Essentially, our goal is to bring our holders closer to owning a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, because we know not everybody's got 40 ETH to spend on one. So that was just kind of like a quick snapshot about us. But kind of where we're at, I'm not going to go onto a rant, so I can open up the floor for other people that want to pitch their projects. But like I mentioned, we got a big week ahead. We're already on week 7 on Arbitrum, and we're already planning a full-blown upgrade to our contract, kind of like what Carrot did, what you guys did with your contract. We're about to do the same thing. So Kid and Walter, I'm going to be tapping you guys on the shoulder probably this week or next as we kind of build this out. But right now, our key focus is getting our third and final NFT batch off the ground. We've already sold 41 out of 51 of our Founders Pack NFTs. Those are going to come loaded with utility when we relaunch in June. Our first batch actually sold out in Dark Sea in a record-breaking 13 minutes. It's never happened before. We generated a nice amount of ETH on that sell. Our second set, the demand was equally intense. If you guys haven't seen our NFTs, Dark is the artist behind it. This guy is like an evil genius. He knows absolutely how to capture artwork and then present it. All of our NFTs are original pieces of art, and the artist behind it, absolutely insane. So we're blessed to be partners with Dark Sea as they continue to build us out with our NFTs. This week, like I mentioned, is jam-packed. Aside from our NFT final set that we're launching tomorrow, we're going to be pushing with Oscar Swap. This is a DEX that's going to be launching on Arbitrum on June 1st. So we're going to start having some Twitter spaces with Caesar. And our project is going to be serving as the guest on some of these spaces. I think Manuel, who's the dev behind that one, he had mentioned that he's also going to get a space reserved with Travlad as well. So it'd be really cool just to hop up there on the stage as a guest for a decentralized exchange that's going to be popping off in the coming weeks. Again, awesome opportunity as we expand our marketing efforts. The key thing I mentioned earlier was our version 2 ramp up. The reason why we're doing it, it's going to enable our NFTs to integrate with our smart contract. Additionally, it's going to clean up some issues that we had when we originally launched. We didn't realize that we were going to expand the way we did until here we are. You know, seven weeks in with 5 partnerships in, and we're just going to keep, chipping away at this redwood until we make it all the way to the top. You know, initially when we first started this project, we were coming up with different ways to engage the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT ecosystem. We found out a good way to do it through our vault system. But the reason why we're ramping up our upgrade, we're also going to ramp up our white paper version 2 because we found other ways to expand the ways in which we interact with this ecosystem and support Yuga Labs. Some of these ideas kind of kicked off. If you guys have heard of Steve Aoki, he's basically an American DJ, highly influential guy. A lot of people follow him, but his Twitter account was compromised, and essentially a hacker shared one of his project's wallet drainer links, impacting some of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT holders. Some of you guys may have heard about that, but some ideas like our Wells and community members were kicking around. We could like set up a like some NFTs, to support Steve Aoki and what happened. Just different ways we can just engage with this ecosystem as a whole, because we definitely have the platform and the foundation to do it. So definitely looking forward to what's going to happen in the future. Again, I'm not going to go here and rant. I just want to give you guys the bottom line up front. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 7 weeks in. We started something, we started small, and now we're just thinking big. So appreciate the airtime.
No, absolutely, man. Appreciate you coming through, Luke. Always a pleasure, man. I think it's really cool what you're doing, utilizing basically fractional tokens of Bored Ape Yacht Club in order to build an ecosystem on a very low gas arbitrum. So I find it really cool, and yeah, appreciate your time, man, and coming up and talking about it, bro. I see we brought up Lordy Ape. I believe you're from Pepe Lady. You have the stage, man. Go ahead.
Good evening, gents. How are you doing?
What's up, baby?
Walt has still got the unbelievable energy going. Guys,
let's go.
Honestly, mate, you're amazing. Just before any shilling or anything, the Spaces has been absolutely mint. I've been looking deep into Refund and looking at all these little messages on the blockchain and stuff. How cool is that? Yeah, it's really, really cool. I love it. It's exciting to think who it is. When Ethereum was basically made, this wallet's from. It's awesome. I've loved this AMA, this Spaces. Sorry, it's been absolutely fantastic. Good on you, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
So, look, I won't go. Obviously, there's a big flaw. There's loads of guys in here, so I won't take up too much time. If anyone wants to get to know us or the team behind Pepe Lady, just come to the Telegram or, if you want to know more about us. Long story short, we were sick of getting rugged. We were sick of scams. It was literally, I was losing just play money here and there. So we thought, right, we'd just create a legit token, make it watertight. It's as simple as it comes. There's zero tax. It's fully renounced, fixed. There's no minting. We've created the website. We've created communities in the past. Just our first token, in the last 2 years, that did 180x. We made a micro cap, and literally the utility for this is the community. We're following the Shib days. I'm back from that sort of era a couple of years ago when I jumped into crypto, and we're just going to follow suit. We really want to build a community, meet the right people, have these voice chats, just bring people in, and it's a safe. I mean, like Kid said, do your research. Like, there is so many scammers, and it's so annoying. It hurts the whole crypto space, people getting rugged and buying the wrong LPs and whatever it may be. Everyone's out to get your money, they DM you. So do double check. But the only thing we could do was on Token Sniffer, we've got 100 out of 100. As I said, the contract's renounced. Yeah, we've created a tight token. The market cap is $11,000, literally 11K. That's, our first token, Sphere, we got that to 3.4 million. We're at 11K. We're not a pump and dump. We don't want it to just instantly rocket and everyone pulls liquidity. We're just making something cool, a bit of a DJ, have some fun. If Pep can do so well, so can Pepe Lady. We'll push it, play games, and come to these chats and get the word out there and just grow as a community day by day, week by week, partnership, whatever we can do, we want to do it. So, like Kid said, be safe, don't lose, don't connect to dodgy websites. I'm sick of rugs. It's doing my head in. It really is. It's hurting the whole space. So yeah, invest safely, get into these good projects, get into these AMAs and what's suggested in here, like Refund and stuff. Just go have a go. And yeah, I'm really hyped for crypto at the minute. I feel great. There's some really good projects coming through. And even though we're still in a bear, it's looking really good. So yeah, Pepe Lady, Pepple is the ticker. We're on BSC. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, go for it.
No, I love it, baby. I love it, baby. Rock and roller. It sounds like Guy Ritchie starting his own project, baby. I love it. I'm super like bullish about it. I was trying to really know about the project, and I had already people asking me about what's up with Pepe Lady. I have community members telling me they already aped. I didn't really know about it. So the fact that there's actually a voice behind it, and I'm not gonna lie, I love the energy already. You know what I'm saying? You got me
Cool,
like,
man.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. I was out there in the Bitcoin convention. That's why you heard me going Pepe,
Yeah,
Pepe,
man.
Pepe. Because the Pepe communities that I met, kids saw the funny videos that I had. Like people, so all these people did, right? These ENS marketing people were trying to get ENS marketing out. So what they did is they put a bunch of Pepe shirts and like they had a bottle, a table. And when I tell you everybody, even though there was a lot of projects, everybody kept on stopping. They're like, Pepe, do you have to do a Pepe? I'm like, bro, I'm Walter from the World Famous Kid. I'm like, you know what? At just one point, I was like, forget it. I'm Pepe, let's go. I put on a Pepe. I took off my shirt. I put on a Pepe shirt. Once the drink started hitting, I started going, and then all of a sudden people started coming through like, you represent Pepe. I'm like, I represent DeFi and more, but how you doing? And then I was like, Pepe, 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 bro. And people, and then I put on a Pepe suit. I put a Pepe hat, literally put a Pepe mask, and me and this, and literally people were taking pictures with me with my Pepe shirt and my Pepe like mask, and I was like, this is just what DeFi is, like having fun. People were so intrigued by it, and let me tell you, there was ladies were wondering about Pepe. They're like, "Do you have more Pepe?" And I was
This
like,
is
"And now we got Pepe Lady." So this is super cool. You never know what can happen. So
it
yeah,
is
man, I love the
DeFi.
whole premise. I love
You
it.
never know, do you? You honestly never know. All I know is we will grow and we can just create a community. And obviously, Pepe went absolutely crazy, and it is a 1 in a million moonshot was Pepe, but crazier things have happened. As long as we keep meeting guys like you and building partnerships and chatting, AMAs, voice chats. Maybe NFT. We have artists and stuff in the team from the previous projects, so yeah, who knows? But yeah, that's all about us. But the main thing is we're a micro cap, guys. And, this all, just let me say, sorry, we're more important than any money, any amount of money or anything is our name. We want the good reputation. We don't want to damage ourselves. We're not here to rug for, a couple of grand or whatever it may be. I want to be like you, going to these conventions in 6 months, a year. I want this to be what we're known for. So I'm more than just these rugs and everything like that. We will make this a success and will become a trusted name. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything, please feel free. And thank you for the time as well.
Oh no, thank you, man, for coming by, man. All jokes aside, you never know what can happen, and the fact that you're starting a project, with Pepe Lady, under the Pepe name, you already know that you have to like, show people that you're the real deal, getting at something with that name, and they're like, oh, here comes another project, and people already try to do a couple projects, like what I believe, like to try to be the girl or Queen
Yeah.
of Pepe or something like that. So the fact that you guys are going into that and then actually taking it serious and actually keeping in mind your reputation and more, people will follow you more. And just the fact that you're coming onto our platform, letting us know about the project, you have to keep on. You have to be persistent. Keep on showing your face, and I mean your voice will, and people are gonna know. And
Yeah,
especially
man.
you got this voice that is super unique and original. People are gonna know you, bro. Like, oh, it's the guy from Pepe Lady, and then like so you already know that you're gonna take off with this project, man. So power and love to you, bro.
Cheers, my
Just
man.
keep on doing what you're doing. Cheers, my brother. And
Thank
let
you.
me know more. Let me know more about the project. And in the next couple weeks, give us a recap. Let us know how Pepe Did he leave his wife and he went to his Pepe lady? Let us know, the whole narrative and what's really going on. But thank you for showing
Let's
up,
do it.
and I
No,
appreciate
thank
you,
you,
man.
guys. Really appreciate it. Keep on with these great AMAs. I'll see you next week as well. I'll be in every week now.
All right,
There
you got
goes
it.
my lady. There goes my lady. But sorry, guys. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
You stupid Walter. All right, we got Jules on stage. Everybody knows Jules, everybody's favorite. Shib.
Jules!
Shib.
Jules!
Oh, you're so good at interrupting, Walt.
Yeah, I had to, though. I had to.
What's up, Jules? How you doing, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Thank you for allowing me to speak and with the show that you guys had today, man. That was great. Talk about legends, man. Papa from Safe Moon. Jeez, man. I would love to talk to him about his experience in Safe Moon because I missed the boat on that. And yeah, man. There's Can I read something to you guys? I wanna elevate this space a little bit, just because we talk about DeFi and crypto a lot, and Kid, I know you're on this level, so you'll appreciate this, man.
Let's go.
I'd rather do this than talk about a project, but it's connected to something. I'll lead to it, but it's by somebody whose name is David Icke, and the video is called "The Holographic Illusion of Reality." And what he said was, miracles are simply overcoming the programming of what's possible and not possible. When we observe, we decode. There are no miracles. There is only understanding how to manifest all possibility. That understanding comes from the knowledge that we are consciousness, disembodied, no form, awareness having an experience. And Shaman said this, he's quoting, we are perceivers, we are awareness. We are not objects. We have no solidity. We are boundless. We, or rather, our reason, forget this, and thus we entrap the totality of ourselves in a vicious circle from which we rarely emerge in our lifetime. I actually wrote that down, and I'm going to keep it in front of me because when I'm doing DeFi, everybody's talking about what's the chart doing, what's the price action doing. And I've come to the point in my DeFi career, which extends all the way back to 2020 and being an early part of Shiba Inu, to where I'm not worried about exactly about how much money I'm making or, what projects I'm involved with. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to elevate DeFi so that people start understanding that the possibilities of what all of us are doing, like you and Walter with Carrot, me with Shuggy, and now the project that I'm involved with, Grumpy Cat on BSC. What you want people to understand is, yes, we want to all make life-changing money, but how do you get there? And all it is aligning people with a vision of what's possible in the future. That's it. Crypto is all possibility. It's all magic. I consider myself a shaman in crypto now because when you use your words and your intentionality in a way to inspire people to believe in something, you have the ability to basically have alchemy. You combine different elements to combine one thing. And when you get a lot of people believing in the same thing, you can create miracles in crypto. We saw it with Shiba Inu. We saw it with so many projects where people are like, oh, like this project, I don't think it's going to succeed. But everybody in the community, from the leaders top down, they're like, no, you know what? We're not going to leave. We actually love this project. We actually appreciate each other. And over there in the Grumpy Cat community, people are on VC. We're chilling out. We're rating. We rated Jack Gagan. He's mentioned our project many times on his live stream. And sometimes I have to wake up with 3 hours of sleep. I have not gotten a lot of sleep, and I wake up for those live streams because I know that that's important. Being able to talk about your project everywhere and letting people know, that is important, and that's why I'm here and sharing it with you. I didn't get a lot of good sleep last night. There's been a lot of sleepless nights, and when you're a creator, when you're creating things in crypto, there really is no time to rest. Every day is a day to keep tinkering and working on what you believe in. And The team over at Grumpy Cat is like that. They've spent many sleepless nights working on the project, and the community is great too. So I really more than anything, and also I wanted to say, because Dadbod is a personal friend, and I wanted to say for this Memorial Weekend, I'm sorry that you lost your father due to some things that happened. You know, with you mentioned Agent Orange, and I know this is probably a rough time for you, and for anybody that's lost anyone that sacrificed their life, you know, for a cause, whatever it is. But it's for Memorial Weekend this weekend. For anybody that's lost loved ones in war, I really appreciate it. And I wanted to say that although I don't believe in war, and I think that a lot of that is really useless dying over meaningless things. One thing I do appreciate is when I was a video game addict, the people that I connected with that I considered my brothers were people that served. And it's interesting because they're the most realist people that you'll ever meet. These are the people that put their lives on the line, and they tell things like it is. And that's who I am. I tell things like it is. I speak from the heart, and they do too. So that meant it means a lot to me to connect with people that have served, because their perspective is unique, right? Like they put their lives on the line. They're willing to die if somebody tells them to do something. That takes courage. And I just wanted to say that, Dad Bod. A shout out to you, buddy. But no, that's it, man. I really enjoyed the show. You guys always bring such amazing guests, and this your spaces is sacred to me. It's almost like religion. Like I feel like I'm going to church, especially with Walter. Walter's like that animated minister that starts jumping up and down, and he's got the Holy Spirit in him. That's that's how I see Walter. I love you. I love both of you, though. You guys know that.
Thank you, bro. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was
Reverend
perfect.
Walter.
Oh man, I just get into like a craziness energy, and I just like go from human to like boom into like an animated character during this show, bro. Like you know, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit and shit. I just go into the next level, man. So thank you, Jules. Jules.
Awesome. Yeah. And if anybody else wants to come up and speak, or if anybody that's on the panel right now wants to jump back in the mix, feel free to, this is, where we kind of freestyle and hang out and just kind of kick back, have a beer, and just shoot the shit. So if anybody wants to jump up, feel free. I know Khan in the audience, he might be able to update us on what's going on with Colt Dow and Modulus. I'd love to hear that. But yeah, if anybody wants to jump in, just jump in, man.
Oh yeah, bring my dog Khan, man. I love that guy. Bring Khan now. Khan, come up, baby. We want to hear about Cold Dow and more. He just had an amazing space yesterday. He's just a delightful person to listen to. He's, just the way he comes across. To me, Khan is gonna be one of the biggest people in the spaces, and just having him here, just listening down, it's truly an honor, man. I'm every day. I can't believe every day how me and Kid are just having these amazing people as guests, listeners, hosts, co-hosts, features. It literally is a blessing, bro. So everybody here is like family and more, and I appreciate you guys coming in. My man, Khan in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you, Walter? How are you, Kid?
You already know I'm good, baby.
Let's go, man. This is an awesome show to be in, and yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be with you guys, and it was an awesome space yesterday, Walter. We had, and you had so much fans right now.
Walter, are you there, buddy? He's talking to you.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. No, I'm here. I'm here. I can listen. That's why I thought maybe the space got rugged. I can hear. Listen, perfect. I'm fired up already. I'm sorry. I just sat down right here by the pool because I was walking downstairs, and now I'm by the pool. But I'm hearing everything right now, man. Let's go. Khan in the building.
No,
yeah,
I'm
good,
here,
good
baby.
to see
I'm
you,
just
Khan. Glad to have you on, man. What's been going on with Colt Dow, man, and Economist and Modulus? I know you got some cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah, exactly, man. And we are so near the test launch. I mean, the modulus testnet. And we had tentative date not shared with us yet, but it might be this week, it could be the next week, but it's definitely somewhere in June. So we are pretty excited for modulus launching. That's the ZKVM layer 2 chain that Sculpt is bringing. And it's going to be a game changer for all the people that value privacy or anything else. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff, man.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I love the guys over at guys and gals over at Colt, man. We had you guys on the show, I think probably like 3 months ago or whatever. Whenever
Oh yeah.
the Denver conference was, and yeah, it's such a joy, man. You guys have some really cool people. Love Goo God, Witty, Yukon. There's so many great people over there, and yeah, we really enjoy the growth that Colt's doing, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, it's all
Kid,
due to you guys, man.
you're the best,
What
man.
you guys are doing, what you guys are doing for DeFi, man, bringing on all those peoples from other projects, and not talking about your own project. Like you are always talking about building together and yeah, supporting each other projects. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing we should value. I mean, not let each other down, but to build each other up.
Absolutely, man. That was one of the things when we were, I guess, framing the theory of what we wanted to do with Twitter Spaces, and now we're starting to explore into YouTube, and we're going to do some more things on that. Is that, granted, we have our home base project, right? But there's so many different flavors of DeFi and crypto that's going on, NFTs, ordinals, that we don't want to just be so secluded to where we miss out on other things. Because that was one thing that I felt like that's happened to me in the past is, I'm very passionate about projects, and I put a lot of time into them. And sometimes I get blinders and I end up missing out on other cool things. Like, for instance, I helped pioneer Elongate, and I had one of my friends tell me when Bored Apes was minting, and I had an opportunity to get into Bored Apes right off gate. And then I even had a chance to get into Mutant Apes. And, I blew that shot because I wasn't paying attention to the entire sphere of what was going on. And when we were framing this show, we honestly weren't even owners of a project at that time. We were just community members in a community. The dev ended up abandoning the project, so we rescued it. Not necessarily due to that's what our plan was, but the community, we all rallied together to save a project that would have went underwater. That we just happened to be in. And we started the show, because we wanted to explore different projects, and we've made a lot of friends and acquaintances, through the years. And we feel like going into the bull run, just getting this platform secured and stuff, and helping other people is what we want to do. At the end of the day, we're all in DeFi. We all definitely want to make money, but at the end of the day, the friendships and things that are that happen from having these type of spaces is honestly the best part to me. Like, just being able to jump into a Cult DAO space anytime, and just being welcomed like family, or anybody's like we all the communities have embraced. And I've noticed that there was a lot of tribalism within DeFi. There wasn't a lot of volume coming in, so there was a lot of, like, people are very territorial and stuff, and that's very understandable, to a degree. It's just kind of how people are programmed. But we kind of want to break out of the matrix and realize that we want to support people. We want to see more docs people step forward, and like people that are willing to actually go out of their way to put themselves into this fight for freedom. And that's honestly what crypto is to me. Is honestly, this is our fight. One of the biggest battles, of time, to where we're going to have to fight to keep our freedoms secure. And it's became ever more evident where things are leading. I'm pretty sure everybody can see where this is headed. And if we don't act now, things could turn out different. So it's all of our responsibility to be those people that have the gumption, to step off and have faith, and come together to fight the systems that, that are, not just. I mean, there's people that can't even bank in the U.S. and what crypto is going to do is give financial instruments to everybody, and then taking basically banks are their purpose of existence is just exist. They go away, guys. We take away these derivative systems, basically where these banks just take our money and invest it, and sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, sometimes they default, and it's all a big Ponzi scheme what they're doing, and those walls are being broken down, and we get to decide what ecosystems that we deal with. And I see it as it's going to be an opportunity to bridge communities, through currencies that are now borderless. So now I can share a currency with my friend in Australia, in Pakistan, and and we're all within the same ecosystem. Whereas currency used to be a thing that represented, okay, hey, this is this area. That's the cool thing is like now we can commerce with each other without the rules of having to keep things implied into just one nation or the other. We can build things together without borders and in a very inclusive way. And that's one of the byproducts that I've noticed from crypto and stuff is that people that used to be not necessarily scared of each other, but like there might have been bad history and things like that. I've seen people from that may have had wars with each other in the past, are now friends within crypto and stuff. They have a wife and kids and family, and I feel like a lot of propaganda shaped a lot of people in the past, and now we get to experience it live with each other, to where that propaganda can't overcome the relationships that we're establishing, across the world. And I think that's going to lead to a better place where we all have more understanding, and that, and I think that, is one of the positive consequences of DeFi. It's bringing the world closer together. It's knocking down a lot of borders, but yeah, I know I'm going on a rant, but it's really true.
Rightly said, Ben, and exactly. DeFi is the future. DeFi is the only way. Just for the sort of, I mean, just 2 weeks ago here in Pakistan, we had a notification from the government that any sort of crypto or foreign currency trading is literally banned. So you cannot legally trade crypto or anything, but that's not stopping people. And I hope more and more people join in. Yeah, there's still, I mean, some hurdles we need to cross, such as on-ramping and off-ramping of DeFi and not using centralized exchanges or whatnot. Hopefully, we'll overcome that problem pretty soon. The main thing, the only thing that's very, very important right now is to get more people on board, like the old school people who are all about the real currency, as they call it. And yeah, just look to your left, look to your right, and tell people about crypto, what it does. And just as Kid said, that it can be traded anywhere, anytime, without any banking system. So that is the future. And literally, they won't be able to stop it. They will try their best. But yeah, good luck trying.
Absolutely, man. So you're out there fighting the good fight with your country, basically saying no, and that that's kind of what we have to do as the people. Is sometimes realize that we don't need to be told what things are. I mean, my nation was built on fuck you. We're not going to pay some proxy country taxes. We're going to do our own thing, and that's what my nation was built on. So. I see that as like a similar, type of fight that we fight now. Hey, what's up, Schedule Site, man? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? My dog Rob, right now I'm in the pool right now. I'm not glad I just dipped in the pool. It's hot. I'm like, yes, let's go. I'm relaxing now. I get to chill out, man. Thank you, bro. You already know I was giving you shout outs in the beginning. Thank you for supporting us from the first episode. If things don't get scheduled, things don't get done. The man, the myth, the legend of all legends, Robert in the building. What's going on?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say very interesting talk, great panel of speakers speaking on this subject matter of DeFi and crypto. I just want to say that I am the founder and CEO of ScheduleSite.com, where I provide scheduling media content for your calendar with one click. I'm trying to get the word out on crypto, and not just crypto, but blockchain technology, which is the premier technology that is going to be taking over DeFi, decentralized finance specifically. I got to say the word out incomplete. What the gentleman said before is 100% correct. This is something that is unstoppable, and we got to get on the right side of history here. DeFi is going to take over the traditional banking system as we know it, and they are terrified and they cannot stop it. This is a technology that is growing at double the speed of adoption of the internet. I'm going to say it again. Crypto is growing at double the speed of adoption of the internet. Okay. So when you understand what's going on with decentralized finance and people start to understand the effects of inflation and how it's taking, literally robbing people of the value of their money, this is going to take the world by storm. And for all these gentlemen who are developing projects on blockchain technology, you guys are going to be the winner because you're going to be maintaining the value of your projects, something that you're building that is of value by virtue of tokenizing what you're building. And you're keeping the value in your pocket where it should be and not in the hands of the government. So everybody, I urge you, talk to somebody, get the word out on DeFi, get the word out on not only just cryptocurrency, but blockchain technology. That is the true technology that's going to change the world. And I'm just so excited. I am pumped up. I am bullish as ever because I see the future. And everybody, please support me on ScheduleSite.com. I'm here to support you. If you have a project, if you have an NFT project, a token that you're planning to release, anything innovative that you're planning to contribute to the blockchain technology, please let me know, DM me, and I'll make sure that I feature it so all my other users can go ahead and add that particular project to their calendar so we don't miss out. And I say, let's keep the fight going. Let's go.
Oh my God. Yo, my man, why do you sound like Morpheus just came out of nowhere and just tapped into the Twitter spaces and we didn't even know it? Honestly, Rob, when you speak, man, it's like you just listen, man, automatically. Literally, brother, you've been a mentor to me and more, man. And I already know that this project is not going to only take off. This literally will change the way everyone does everything in their modern lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, ScheduleSite.com in the building, baby. Let's go. This is an historical fucking Twitter space tonight. And I'm just happy everybody has, this is literally the gathering of the GOATs. This is going to be one for the historical books. Everyone here, so guys, you already know, man, with everything that's been going on in life and it goes so fast and so quick, people don't know, you got to get things scheduled. And, so my man over here is doing something bigger than life, adding DeFi, adding events. I had the privilege and to be going out with him during Bitcoin convention. And this man is an animal at networking. I've never seen anything like it. It's like a fucking sport. So to this man. So just shout out to Schedule Site and more, man. This is gonna be one of those projects, and that we saw like Amazon, just how do you compare it? It's just something that people are gonna be like, man, it was right in front of me, So just that's what type of value I'm giving you, man. You guys are the next biggest schedule, platform of all time. So love you, man. Thank you for coming out.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Listen, you guys are doing awesome. Your show is amazing. I get pumped up every time I listen to you guys and how you present the information and educating the public on this very important topic, because this is going to affect our lives. And I just want to say, kid, Walter, keep up the amazing, awesome work you're doing. And I'm getting pumped every time I hear you. And this space is growing so big, and I'm hearing people talking to me that I've never really met before, and talking about am I going to the Kid and Walter show? I'm like, wait a minute, how did this guy know about this? And it was like everybody's talking about the Kid and Walter show now. So you guys are doing it big, and keep up the great work. And I'll do everything I can to support you guys. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Same back to you, brother. Support is everything, and you were here from the beginning. So the fact that we had someone like you on our spaces right from the beginning, it's always been humbling. Just this whole journey, and I know more than ever, if I've met anybody in my life that wants something to really happen, you better know this man is the elite example, going 23, 24-hour days, maybe even longer. I don't even know when the man has time to sleep. He doesn't stop. If don't this man is on some like Elon Musk type of energy. I'm letting you guys know. So my man, Rob, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate you. You will be, successful no matter what. So let's go, guys. Is there anybody else that is coming by? This is out of control. Kid, who do we have next?
Yeah, anybody can jump up. Just hit the request button if anybody wants to circle around. We've kind of had the portion everybody's done their pitch, but I would love to.
I
Oh
would,
yeah,
I
there you
would,
go.
I would like to give a quick shout out to Jacob the Great. He put Benny, he's invested in the project here with Benny
Let's go.
and knows about Benny. And I'd just like to give a shout out to him for, getting us on here on the space where we could talk. We really enjoyed it, guys. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. And trust me, I'm ready to do another like 2 hours, bro. I just got in the pool. I feel refreshed. I'm feeling nice. I'm looking at the city right now. I'm just like, let's go, kid. This is like the after party, Kid and Walter show, and everyone's invited. Everyone's a VIP. I want people to know when I throw parties in Miami and conventions, I know what it is to just want to come in, want to speak up. So we're all equal in this world. We're all manifesting this great plan for DeFi, and I want to meet everybody. I love you guys, and I appreciate you all guys coming to the platform, man. So let's go, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, just for transparency, I'm an investor in the project. I'm not a dev or anything like that, So thank you, guys.
Absolutely, and transparency on our part is we're invested in in most of the projects, that we've had on. Definitely do your own research, guys. This is for entertainment. This is not financial advice. We love DeFi, and yeah, we're out here. This is not a sponsored space. Nobody's paying us to put this on. We do this at our own, our own cognition. So this is all love and just having fun. It's not premeditated. So just want to put that out there. So always do your research. Be safe. There's a lot of bullshit out there. You never know. So, but just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, if anybody else wants to jump up, man, feel free. I'd love to hear, for some more people, or if anybody that's on stage wants to jump in on the convo, we can keep it going, man. We can steer this conversation beyond
Yes.
the normal AMA format. Like, we do a lot of banter and bouncing off of each other. I actually have a really good idea that I actually want to talk with you, Benny, that I've been thinking about since 2021. And I wanted to see what you think about it, but I'll get up with you afterwards and what have you. But I have an idea for something that didn't necessarily work with normal blockchains, but I think could work with Bitcoin and stuff. So I'd like to raffle with you, man.
Oh yeah, you already know, baby. Bitcoin, man. This is huge. Having someone talk about Bitcoin orders, like, I don't know how much more excitement they want to hear in my voice, or like just how like important people don't understand. People like us that have been around, the spaces. I've seen Bitcoin. Shout out to my uncle Agustin. Without him, I would not be here right now learning about Bitcoin in 2011, 2012, and he was mining, and I didn't understand really what this was. And something told me, like a little whisper, like, "Hey, pay attention. This is like, this is just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it's not the future." And it made sense. I was like, wait a minute, a digital currency in a digital world. So damn, bro, like it's just that simple, bro. It was that simple, guys. And it's not like anybody's like, oh, I'm the man because I knew Bitcoin. Bro, nobody really understood but it made sense to them in a simplicity way that it was just, digital currency and in a digital world, and it was the foundation of what's going on right now. And the fact that we have, Track here, talking about Bitcoin ordinals, and it is the talk of the town, guys. Like, I don't know how to explain to you. When I told you I was in the inn of the inn, I was literally chilling with, shout out to Loudmouth, Profits, uh, BitBoy. I was out chilling with all of them, and let me tell you, people are bullish on Bitcoin ordinals and more, man. So when I was telling you, I was literally chilling with the top of the top people, guys, in crypto and more. And they're just so humbled. Loudmouth, man, I love that guy, man. I wish he could listen, man. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to have the best time of my life. He's such a true brother to me. The fact that he is literally the life of the party, and he literally is just took me in as like a brother to like come in, and I told him who I was. I was humbled by it, you know.
Yeah, for those
I
of
can
you,
hear you splashing.
yeah, for
Oh, go
everybody,
ahead. Go ahead.
for everybody that's new, like anytime we're learning a new space, there's a lot of new terms and things we need to get our mind around, right? Like the first time I bought my first BRC20, it's like learning how to trade on Uniswap for the first time, but even harder, right? So just know that there's BRC20. There's no smart contracts with BRC20. And that's one thing that people love about it. You can't get rug from a smart contract when it doesn't even exist. So BRC20, there's only 4 letters in the ticker and there's no smart contracts. But there's other standards that are emerging like ORC20, which is also track by track. That's why track was introduced. It's to provide the community a decentralized platform that they can vote. What are we going to track? What is going to be the next protocols, right? Because it won't be just BRC20 or ORC20. So there's just different things that you're going to need to get your mind around, and also understand that it's so freaking bleeding edge early, guys, from the point of adoption, that the user experience is not there. It's a pain in the ass, but go through the pain because it's that early. And we all know that's where the opportunity exists.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Dude, I'm totally
Heck
stoked
yeah.
about it. Go ahead, Walter.
No, my phone just almost went in the pool, guys. So me and the pool were fighting itself. I was like, no, and I was like, no, it just didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. So I'm over here like I was trying to give a special shout out, and of course, the crypto gods have spoken. Like, Walter, you already know you're making a splash into the world. Let me show you with your phone. So the fact that we have the biggest people, yeah, the biggest people in the space here right now, and Bitcoin, ordinals getting talked about on our show with Refund. That's literally like the Omega project right now that's happening right now in DeFi. We're this is making a splash in itself, and I'm taking it as a sign, that this is going to be one of the most greatest moments of our lives coming up. And people, when I'm trying to tell you that everybody in the talk of the town that's in DeFi is talking about Bitcoin ordinals and how we can make contracts, because that's how like advanced these people are, that they're already always on to the next, and learning what's really going on and try to educate. And the fact that we have somebody here that's one of the actual innovators, and there's not even a lot of people in it. This is why this is such an important show today. Just the fact that we have Refund and the talk of Bitcoin ordinals, hosted with Papa, former dev of Safe Moon, your pop in the building that is representing change this whole PFP. Then we have Shillmatic that's representing as well. Then we have as well the likes of Stecky, like that changed his PFP. This is just something on that you don't see all the time, and literally, I believe things happen for a reason. The fact that we had both these projects more shows the importance of what's about to emerge.
That's awesome, man. Anybody else want to jump up and speak, man? Feel free.
I had a bit of a question on people's thoughts about GTA 6 and crypto. What's everyone's thoughts on that? If everyone hasn't heard, GTA 6 will pay cryptocurrency it is confirmed, or the in-game currency you'll be able to swap for the dollar. I just wondered what everyone's thoughts were on that, and if it'll have an effect on play to earn, or anyone's thoughts basically.
Well,
wait, this is breaking news. This is breaking news. Grand Theft Auto
yeah,
is what? Because I heard there was like they said they were, then I heard they weren't, and then what's really going on with it? Like this is really happening right now. Like
It's
the
been
first player
confirmed. I
earned
saw
game.
it a couple of days ago.
This is gonna change everything, guys. This is the news that I've been. You know, kid. What am I always telling kid? I was like, man, whoever like puts finally games with crypto, will take over, and it made so sense. It's like it's kind of like where it's like common sense is not so common. It's like, yeah, you already knew that if any project that was gonna play to earn, it would be Grand Theft Auto because the way that how Bitcoin was first established and it was like the black market or whatever, you know, all those like weird stigmatas it had, and then now Grand Theft Auto, where it's literally like the first most popular like actual like first person living in a life where you like can literally live that individual's life and do all the things to be on top and kind of have that liberal type of like mentality while you're driving around the streets, making things deals happen, and trying to be on that just straight business tip on that empire mentality. And I think something like this is literally going to change everything. And the fact that they're doing this now just shows that there's if you know that if they're adopting it, who do you think is going to come adopt it soon? Microsoft with Xbox, and then as well with Nintendo Switch, Nintendo. Then you have everything. Sony. It's just gonna Sony's gonna be the one emerging it and opening it, and I think they're smart. You're already seeing Hong Kong opening up the floodgates already. So guys, we literally are in the infancy of the greatest wealth of transfer.
Yeah, Con, I saw you were starting to speak. Go ahead, brother.
well, it was something similar along the lines of GTA 6, and people are talking about it. Will it be something similar to all the in-game features, like let's say you rob a bank and transfer the money to your real bank, and how you to put it on the taxes that you basically robbed one? Just some thoughts over there. It was similar.
That's amazing, man. That's going to be really cool. Crypto Winner, I saw you were about to talk too, man. Go ahead, brother. Crypto Winner, where I think you were trying to talk.
Crypto Winner.
Sorry.
What's up, brother?
Dude, I was walking out here in my garden and a snake just slithered right in front of me. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, damn.
What the hell?
What the hell, man? What kind of sign is that? Fight for
Bro, you about to
decentralization,
get
baby. Fight these snakes.
bite the bit. Don't get bit. Don't get bit. Buy the bit.
Don't
Buy
bite.
the dip. Don't get dip. Don't get bit. Buy the dip.
Yeah. No, I love that we
So
talk
what's
about the
happening?
decentralization and the fight for that and how important it is. We fight just by making a decision, guys, and voting with our money, right? Voting with our resources. We invest our time and our life to get those resources. So we should think before we invest them in things, right? Invest in things that are pushing forward sovereign control of our own resources. I love it. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's literally the crypto movement at its core, man. And yeah, man, really appreciate everybody coming out today. It looks like we're getting to the 4 hour mark, man. So I think it's starting to get to cool down time. If anybody else wants to come up, go ahead and request right now. And if nobody requests, man, I think this is probably a good stopping point, man. We'll be booted up next Sunday. If you guys wanna, if you missed the beginning, we're gonna upload this onto YouTube so you can go back and check it out. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Con, Jules, Luke, Lady Pepe, Robert from Schedule Site, the RFD community, which is absolutely insane, guys. I truly think, this is just my opinion, I think this is going to be like the next Shib, in my opinion. It's got a billionaire dev that's like the Bruce Wayne. He's like the Bruce Wayne of DeFi, man. And yeah, man, and I'm definitely gonna check out what you're doing, Benny, and get involved. I haven't had a lot of time lately, but when I do get some time, I want to sit down and learn, you know, how everything works and wrap my head around it and get involved in that space because that seems really cool. But yeah, big shout out to Skull Daddy. He's recording our show so we can and putting it on YouTube. We're going to take all the old episodes as well, and we're going to get them posted. Like we have the Suka episode, Shiba Doge. We've had all kinds of huge projects, Cold Dow. But we're going to upload, you know, I think we got probably like 15 shows or something like that by now, if not more. But we're going to upload those eventually. We're going to kind of get them all. It definitely takes some time. Plus, we use copywritten music usually at the beginning, so there's a little bit of trimming and stuff that has to go on before we can put it on there. Crypto Winter, I saw you're about to say something, man. Go ahead, brother.
Sorry, I was just walking around. I unmuted on accidentally. No, I wasn't.
Oh, you're good. You're good, brother. But yeah, man, thank you everybody for being here today, man. It was a real pleasure. RFD, Track, definitely check out these projects. They're definitely, you know, right at the pulse of what's going on in the industry. Thank you for all of our friends that continue to stop by and show support. We love all you guys, and yeah, we look forward to the episode next week, man. I'm sure we'll have another banger in the pipes. So let's keep it going, guys, and yeah, make sure to follow us and you know, keep track of the show and show support to our YouTube. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yo, kid, when are you gonna get the host of Wi-Fi's on here?
Oh, we should definitely do that, man.
Oh my god!
I know you saw that crop circle episode, man. It's fucking trippy.
But no, man, I could just go, kid. I'm ready to go do another 4 hours, bro. Man, you can go somewhere, bro. I'm about
he's into crypto, right, kid? We talked about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is
man.
into crypto.
Yeah, man. This is out of control space, man. I mean, just shout out to everybody that came out today. Man, freaking Papa, man, coming by. Your Pop, Steggy, like this is out of control. You know, we're gonna be talking about this narrative for a long time, and the fact that we developed that mutual relationship already with that project already from the beginning. Just shows, really, what we're trying to do for the platform and more. And I was ready to do the show like on Monday. I was like, "Kid, let's go." I was fired up. I was like, "What? What's going on?" And then it went from 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95 million. And, that's something out of control you don't see all the time. So the fact that, your Pop and more are actually representing the project, it's not going anywhere. You already know where this is going, guys. Non-financial advice, but you already know that this project is going to take off to the next levels. The fact that everything all together, the narrative is just out of control. You already know. And then, just having, everyone all together in one big space shows, where all these projects are really going to flourish to. Bitcoin ordinals are going to be something that people are going to be talking about forever. So the fact that's people are going to be like, "Oh, you didn't buy a Bitcoin ordinal in 2023," like, and it's like 2023 and 2020 for like 35, and those going to be those old school, projects that people are going to be talking about forever. And it was such a no-brainer, adding Bitcoin and then finally giving it its true nature, of actually, adding projects to it, because it was time for it. It was coming, and you didn't know how to do it, wanted to do it, but maybe the technology still wasn't there. So the fact that we're able to learn about it today, just shows how tomorrow is going to be, guys. But right now, this is a present. This is honestly the best show of all time today for me, and I hope every Sunday it just gets better and better. And the fact that we had everybody come and support, I'm happy as hell. There's nothing else like what we do. In DeFi, emerging all the races and ethnic cultures, just everyone all together. Like we're all just one group all together, going for one movement. Shows that they're all that mumbo jumbo about racism and all that is out there. Because if you have people that are like minded, we don't even see that. We just see this propaganda and more. And I truly love everybody. I'm glad that everybody's different in the world. Everyone needs to be unique, and everybody is somebody in this world. No matter where you are, where you're from, you have a purpose. Every single person that is born in this world. So thank you guys. I don't know, kid, if you have do you have anything else? Do you have a
Yeah,
Jerry Springer moment?
yeah,
Is this
yeah,
coming?
yeah.
Let's go.
I got my weekly Jerry Springer final thought.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, guys. My Jerry Springer final thought. We're all in crypto to make gains. We're all here to make our lives better, to help other people make their lives better. But one thing we really need to think about is just how we treat each other, how we do each other. As far as like how we interact, and just make this a better place because there's about to be 10 times as many people in the space. We need to cultivate a more inclusive DeFi. We need to clean up a lot of the bullshit. We need to come together. We need to continue, to keep this clean and just look out for each other, man. At the end of the day, the friendship part of crypto is just as important as us, making gains. So, use this time to network with good people and just keep pushing, man. I'm rooting for all these projects in here, man. Love all you guys, man. Keep pushing, man. The bull market is coming.
Let's go. Oh yeah. The legendary shout out to Jerry Springer. He's literally one of my favorite entertainers of all time and more. And the fact that we add him to our show, this just shows like, just his legacy will live on and it will live on the world famous Kid and Walter show, guys. So thank you guys again. This was another bangity bang 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 banger again. Going 4 hours and 7 minutes plus. There's nobody else like in this space that wants more and more for the narrative of DeFi than me and Kid and everybody here that comes here. So thank you guys